rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad. I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad. Doing no cap. Only God wants you better go live.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Tino here, as we're here for an early morning retro watch along. As we're going back this Monday night, you guys know they're going to be at the Allstate Arena in my hometown of Chicago, Illinois, as CM Punk makes his return to Raw, and we're going to see what happens and what he's going to maybe be doing at WrestleMania. We got a special guest referee. Maybe he's hosting it. We have no idea, guys. But CM Punk is going to be at the Allstate Arena, and it's just so ironic that now, today, we are here to watch the last WrestleMania besides WrestleMania 22 that was in Chicago, Illinois, at the Allstate Arena. It was known as the Rosemont Horizon at the time. And on March 23rd, 1997, your boy Tino was about to turn 2 years old. I cannot believe that this was already this long ago. We are going to be watching it here today. But we're not here alone, guys, because we got another new guest coming here, making his debut here on Tino's Time. As we've been on his channel before, we've had a good time. But now it's time for him to take over Tino's Time. It's the Patreon of Saints. It is the Warden. It is Matt Ritter. Did I say
going,
that right?
guys? No. It's the patron saint of podcasting.
Patron saint of podcast. Man, I said it to myself. I told you I'd mess it up. I asked you like four times.
I've got people calling me Patron because patron. Yeah, like
the patron saint of podcast. There
we go.
We're
on Patreon. If you guys want to go to patreon.com/creation world, that exists. You guys can go there. It's a thing.
There you go. Well, man, I was saying it all week. I said, because people were asking me, they're like, is Matt Riddle coming on? I said, no, it's Matt Ritter. So it's not Matt Riddle. It's Matt Ritter. I know you don't like Matt Riddle either. So
specifically for that reason, like I existed, and then this man showed up, and then I literally had someone come at me on Twitter thinking I was him, and after like all the controversy and everything about him and the claims, and threatened to castrate me. And then I and other people were like, "No, that's not Matt Ritter. That's Matt Riddle. It's a different person." And then
my God.
After I said I wasn't that dude, like, and it's all because of that. And he's just not my kind of white people. He's not. He really isn't.
Man.
It is.
I've always liked him, but yeah, I mean, I completely understand. It's kind of funny, like that's kind of like how I first started like noticing. It's like everybody was like, "Man, you hate Matt Riddle" and everything else like that, and like all the group chats, and I'm just like, "This is so great." So you got
Ritter over Riddle.
Yeah, there you go. That make it go viral. So today we're here to watch WrestleMania 13. As I said, it is at the Rosemont Horizon, the Allstate Arena, and these are the matches that went down at this pay-per-view premium live event, PLE, whatever you want to call it. We had Flash Funk take on Billy Gunn in a free-for-all match. A fatal four-way elimination tag team matches. It's Doug Flores, Philip LaFon, and the Godwins taking on the Headbangers, Mosh and Thrasher versus the new Blackjacks, I should say. Blackjack Bradshaw and Blackjack Wyndham. Is that Mike Rotunda?
No, that's Barry Windham. So
Barry, okay.
That would be who Bray Wyatt's named after, his uncle Wyndham.
Oh, so that's where they got the name from. Okay.
So that's where Wyndham comes from, is the Wyndhams, which is the Rotunda. It's his uncle. Mike being his dad. And then also, fun fact, we did during the pandemic, we did some early Raw watch-alongs from this era, and I became, for no reason whatsoever, a huge Doug Furnas fan between Furnas and LaFon. So really happy to see Doug Furnas get a spot here on WrestleMania 13.
I mean, man, it's crazy. And the fact also that this is also, guys, we're going to see them, Matt. It's the biggest tag team match of all time. It's the biggest WrestleMania of all time. I swear they say it every single year. But we're going to see a debuting. He's competing in that tag team match. It is Mr. Rocky Maivia as he's taking on the Sutton with Bob Backlund and the Iron Sheik for the WWF IC title. We got a Mr. Hunter Hearst Helmsley, a.k.a. Triple H with China, taking on Goldust. We got a tag team match with Owen Hart and the British Bulldog taking on Mankind and Vader. I think this is also Mankind's debut WrestleMania. We got a no-holds-barred match, submission match that you guys know. We played it on the showcase mode. It's one of the most memorable matches in WrestleMania history. Special guest referee Ken Shamrock. It's Bret Hart, the Hitman Hart, and he's taking on the Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin. We got a 6-man tag team Chicago street fight against Amon Johnson and the Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors, as they take on the Nation, a Domination, Crush, Farouk, and Sanio Vega with Mason, D'Lo Brown, JC Ace, and Wolfie. Clarence Mason, my bad. And then the main event, which I did not know that this main event of the show, it's for the WWF World Title. It is Psycho Sid as he takes on the Dead Man, The Undertaker, as he continues his streak that we all know would go on for 20 plus years. So those are all the matches that we are going to be watching. Before we press play, now that I went through those matches, are there any ones that like you maybe like that was like your favorite on this show that you're excited to rewatch? Or like I've told you before we started recording, I've told a lot of the guests, I've never watched these, so I'm very interested. I'm very excited. Like I said, it's like watching a new show every week. So
you were 2,
yes.
I was 9, because my birthday's April 5th, so it always falls right around WrestleMania. It's going to be the Friday before WrestleMania this year. I'll be turning 37. This was March 23rd, so I was 9 years old. The reason I watch wrestling is because of The Undertaker. I remember this Undertaker Psycho Sid match being fairly decent, but obviously the match that everyone remembers from WrestleMania 13, the one that everyone talks about, the one that got the showcase, Bret Hart versus Stone Cold. I don't know if you know the story behind it, but there was a no blood policy at the time, and Stone Cold wasn't Stone Cold Steve Austin yet. Like, he had cut the promo, but he wasn't in that main event tier. This is really kind of the match that got him there.
Okay.
And
yeah, because I thought he was okay.
That famous shot of Stone Cold bleeding, Bret made that call because Bret was kind of the guy at that point, so he could do that even though Vince is like, no blood. Bret's like, it'll be cool. I'll take the heat for it. It's going to make the match better. And they went for color in the match. So
interesting. Okay. That's a fun little fact. I didn't know that. Yeah, and it's funny because like when we played it on the showcase and everything, obviously there's no commentary or anything. It's just Corey Graves like with the background and everything else like that. So very interesting.
Also around that Rocky era, either at or just before, I think he becomes IC champ, but also very shortly he'll be turning into The Rock and joining the Nation once all that happens. So like we're real close to heel Rock.
Oh, Hollywood Rock, or not Hollywood Rock, but what was the first one? What was the first one that they
it was Nation of Domination Rock. It was okay. So he was Rocky Maivia, and then he just became The Rock in the Nation, and just from there being a heel blew the fuck up.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense then. Because I was wondering, I always try to I'm trying to connect the dots to everything because I've watched WrestleMania 16 through 40 a million times. I think I could recite them at this point. So it's very interesting to see and try to connect these dots to where certain things happen and it's okay. So that's interesting. Yeah, because I thought Stone Cold already did all of that. So it was later this year he did the King of the Ring promo, or did he do it before this?
Oh no. King of the Ring promo has already happened, but that got his popularity up. That didn't launch him into main event WrestleMania status, the guy that we know.
Okay.
So the promo happened, people started feeling him, but everything that you really know about Stone Cold, the McMahon feud, the title shots, all of that comes after this. The next WrestleMania, him versus Shawn, is when he wins his first WWF title.
Okay. So that's 14. Okay.
So,
fun.
Yeah, so we're about a year away from Stone Cold becoming champion, and this is really the match that pushed him from a mid-card Intercontinental title guy, which he'll still do after this and feud with The Rock, to the main event. So we're on the rise, and this is really the match that pushed him over as okay, yeah, he's popular, but he can also be a main event guy.
Yeah, okay. That makes
with Bret Hart.
It's just so crazy too. If you look at it and watch these, I'm watching these and everything, it's you can kind of tell the superstars back then that kind of are today, where maybe you know what I mean, Stone Cold kind of at this time is an up and coming, where Seth Rollins had his moment where he won the wrestle, you know what I mean, just the comparisons that I've seen throughout watching these is crazy. So let's press play let's watch this show, and I'm very excited. Like I said, I don't know why. Maybe it's just because they're in Chicago. The ones that are always in Chicago, I like watching more. But like, I don't know what it is. So
That's why I wanted to do this with you. I'm like, listen, we're both Chicago boys. If we're gonna pick a WrestleMania to watch together, let's watch one in our hometown.
big facts. All right, so let's press play, and then we'll continue to keep talking. There's a lot to talk about and a lot to get to. Let me know when you press play.
All right, you want to do it on 3, 3, 2, 1, play.
There we go. Hey, I'm live. Let me call you later. Okay. Do I have to go get it today or? Okay. Okay, I'll call you when I'm done. Man. It's also so weird rewatching these, and I've just watched them so recently, and like all these little hype videos that they do, it's just so like. And now that I watch them, like throughout, like when they're hyping up this year's WrestleMania, it's like, dang, like that's crazy.
However, WrestleMania 13, these hype videos are nothing compared to what we'll get. Like, obviously, My Way for WrestleMania 17 is the most popular.
Oh my god,
video package, stuff like that.
I just rewatched that one because I'm lame, and like I said, I go back and rewatch them all. So I just watched that one, and I went back, and I'm just like, it's just so crazy, like how like they've like evolved throughout the years, and like how like like the Roman, like the Rock, Roman, Cody, and Seth one is gonna be like insane. Like I'm sure they're gonna go and like take everything they possibly can, and sometimes some of these last like a minute, like 3-4 minutes.
Yep.
I'm one of those for some reason too. I like to rewatch it because it gives me hyped up for like that match. So like I'll go back and rewatch like John Cena and Umaga or whatever, and I'll like watch the little video package before just because it's like refreshes my mind about what happened. And it's funny though because then I'll watch it and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember all of this. 13. I like.
So this year, I'm going down to Tennessee. We're not even doing a post show for WrestleMania because I'll be in Tennessee. And I'll be watching WrestleMania with Will Gray. What's up, Bakley?
Hey.
So Will Gray and Allison from Botch
Will
Bots
Gray.
and
Now, how's Will doing? I've been trying to get to. Hey, what's up, Cage?
Will's doing real good. But like I said, he's down there. My best friend that I've known since I was 3 just moved out there. So we're going to go out there, visit him and his girlfriend, Caroline. And then all of us are going to get together and watch WrestleMania together. So I'm kind of stoked for that.
Hey, that works. That's all. I used to have parties like that all the time. Like me and my friends would have WrestleMania parties. It just, I don't know why, it just would make it so much better. And especially like 22, me and my friend, because that was like the first. I get that was like obviously because I was 1, so I don't remember this one. But 22, man, I remember the whole entire night, and like my friend was a huge Rey Mysterio fan and still is, and he literally made me tape the match onto a DVD so this man could rewatch the Triple Threat over and over and over again. And it just like, oh my God, like the fact that, and I don't think it's sad because I don't think Chicago would ever get a WrestleMania again because it's too cold. No way they haven't had Soldier Field in April.
If we get Arlington Park built and the Bears move to Arlington Heights, and it's indoors and it's covered and it's not open, there's a chance.
Man, I don't know if it does happen though. Me and you are going.
Hell yeah, dude. That's like 10 minutes from my house right now.
Shut up, really?
Yeah, Arlington Park's like 10 minutes from my house.
Oh, that would be even better. Shit, I'm staying at your house. Shoot. Oh, true. Is this the first one that we had Jerry and JR together?
I think so.
It's so weird because like I got so used as I was watching these, I got so used to listening to Jesse Ventura and Gorilla Monsoon that it's so weird now to listen to the people I actually grew up with.
Yep.
Oh, Hugo's been there forever. Shit.
This is kind of the start of the Attitude Era. Like around this time, 96, 97.
What's up, Joe?
I'd say after 96, WrestleMania into 97 was really the beginning of the Attitude Era because 96, did that have have you already seen Goldust versus Roddy Piper?
Yeah, that was 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
Street fight. Man, that street fight was crazy. I had Gizmo join me for that episode, and he made a good point. Could we see something like that with maybe like one of these I think that would be so cool to do like a Philly street fight with like AJ and LA Knight or something like that, just to make it a little bit more intriguing, especially since they're like fighting in the back and LA Knight's breaking TVs and stuff.
Yeah,
I think that would be great just to add a little something, because I don't know. I feel like I'm excited to see that match, but I feel like that's going to be the match that's going to be a very letdown, because it's like there's just really not like, you know.
Did you just see that?
What?
It said the Headbangers as Furnace and LaFon were coming out for their title screen, even though the Headbangers are already in the ring. They put up the wrong graphic for the tag team.
Man, these people, they're so funny. I mean, like technology right back then, they just done messed up.
Listen, so Joe, I will fight you personally. Cody needs to win. Cody has to win.
He has to. He has to. There's no other reason, no other. Like, I heard somebody, I was watching a podcast, and he said, like, what if Cody loses? Like, and it just, I don't know, man. There'd be nobody would believe that he's ever winning. You have to. Do you think Rock and Roman should win the tag match night one?
Storytelling wise, sending Cody into that kind of odds against him, overcoming it all and winning. Yeah, I do. And I think it's going to be Drew costing them some shit going after Seth, something along those lines. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I don't think they should win clean. I think some bullshit should happen. They should get that win. And then Cody's got to go in against all odds. But with Bloodline rules, anything goes. Exactly. Then you have the opportunity for Jay to come back out after his match with Jimmy, take on his brother, Seth to come out and handle some business. Like, it could make for a huge clusterfuck of a main event with Cody getting the win in the end.
Well, I think that's exactly what's going to. Everybody's going to be involved. We see a little bit of Jimmy, Jay, Solo, Roman, Paul. Maybe Goldust will make an appearance somehow, some way. If they somehow pulled that off, maybe we'll just see him for a second. I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot of craziness going down.
He did just drop something on social media the other day where he was holding up those tag belts and he said, "Here, come here, zoom in on this." And then he goes, "Fuck The Rock."
So. That's so great. Like, it would just make it so much better if they would be able to work together. Like, and like, you know what I mean? Like, if like somebody could, like, I don't know.
As someone who was 9 years old in 1997, I've been saying that since WWF and WCW. My dream match that I never got, and I'm still sad about this, has always been Undertaker versus Crow Sting.
Man, did you see that thing that came out this week that said that it was Vince's that said no? Like, Sting and Undertaker wanted to do it, but Vince said no. Of course. Yep. Gotta love it. Hate life. Because these people
His nephews were making their debut. What are you talking about, Bakley? Whose nephews?
His nephew.
Also, Bradshaw looks weird as with that handlebar mustache.
So is that JBL?
Yeah, that's JBL.
I'm dead. When I heard Bradshaw.
Yep, that's JBL.
Oh my god. It's so weird though, because it's like this is like I feel like this is the first one that like if I were to go back and watch it, this is probably the furthest I would have went, because it's like we got JBL, we got The Rock, Austin, Brett, like all the people I kind of remember, and I just never did. And it's so crazy now to like realize like this is their first WrestleMania. Like the fact that Bradshaw, JBL really competed at 10 years of WrestleMania in a way is kind of crazy. Like I thought his first one was WrestleMania 20.
So do you know the Ministry of Darkness? The faction? Okay.
Yeah.
Bradshaw and Farouk are the acolytes, eventually the APA, in the Ministry of Darkness. That's when he leaves this gimmick and he goes and joins them. And then Mideon, do you remember Mideon?
I do, but like who was it? Like who played Mideon?
So Mideon is the dude that's on the in the red and the overalls.
Okay.
From the Godwins. He was Hog, Henry O. Godwin.
Okay.
So their names, the initials Henry O. Godwin, Hog, Phineas O. Godwin, or Phineas something Godwin is Pig. Because they're
Okay. Fun fact.
So you've got two guys that are going to be in a faction together fighting each other in this match right now.
It's
and
so
then eventually
crazy.
Midian becomes naked Midian and does a streaker gimmick for a while.
Man, the stuff.
And that's why I love Doug Furnace. Look at that man.
He's in the blue, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wyndham is in the black. That's the other blackjack.
Okay. Gotcha. Cage says Rhodes is his nephew. Yep. I'm dead. You're funny. Cage, how you been doing, bro? I feel like I haven't talked to you in a while. There's people that I like talk to, and then there's people like I all of a sudden like realize I'm like I haven't talked to them in a while. Like, try to keep up with everybody.
Bakley is in my DMs filling me. He's my New Japan connect. So anything that goes on in New Japan that he thinks I'd be interested in, he's in my DMs letting me know what's going on, sending me clips and stuff like that so I can keep up.
Go. I'm going to have to you make him. That's great. The New Japan guy. I mean, that works though. Like, there's just so much on, and people ask me all the time, like, well, why don't you watch it? I'm like, listen, there's just too much on. Like, I watch other shows. I watch other things. If I watched wrestling all week, I'd watch nothing else because there's just so much on, especially like doing stuff like this. Like, you know, because like after like we're done with this, I won't watch anything of wrestling probably until tomorrow. So it just like, unless if it's a YouTube video, because I somehow find myself doing that sometimes.
Oh,
Bradshaw beating up the ref. These poor referees.
Earl Hebner, man. Earl Hebner.
Yep. Did this match end in a DQ?
No, they're eliminated. They're out.
Oh, it's an elimination match. Okay.
Yep.
I didn't know if I saw that. Oh, it is an elimination tag. Okay, I didn't see that, mother. I love these elimination tags. I love them.
Mosh and Thrasher are the headbangers, and they wear skirts. Eventually, they'll come out in like full dresses and bras over their clothes and crazy shit.
Two, kick up.
Very over at this time, though. The headbangers were huge. Well, not huge. I wouldn't say huge, but they were pretty big and very over around this time. People love their shit.
They seem, did they go into the Hall of Fame?
I don't think so.
No. Shoot,
what
was I watching that? I watched the Iron Claw yesterday. I finally finished it and I watched it. Yeah. And I did not know the Von Erichs went into the Hall of Fame in 2009. My friend asked me. I was like, I think it was a couple of years ago. And then they show it up there. It says 2009. I'm like, oh, shoot. I'm like, I did not know they went in with WrestleMania 25. Like, all right.
Which, arguably my favorite WrestleMania 25.
Yeah. Overall, yeah. I mean, definitely.
That Sean Taker match will be it for me forever.
I think I've watched that match, because I was telling you, I go back and watch them. I think I've done it like almost every year, and at one point I had all of the DVDs from like 20 to like 29 or whatever at the time it was, and I just watch it every year, like back to back to back to back. And I think I've seen that match. Like there was one point that I think I watched it so much that I could be like, Mom, I'm gonna start this at like 10 o'clock, and it's gonna end at like 10:32 because I just knew exactly how much time was in it and how much time was like. And when I went back and watched it this year, I was just like, oh my God. And it's just like, as you get older, it's like you rewatch this stuff and it's like there's something that you miss and some things that like they didn't at least with me, I didn't understand. And then I'm like, oh crap. Especially watching all these documentaries and stuff, it's like you learn so much. And now I guess that I'm old, and now that they're doing documentaries about WrestleMania 25 and all of that, and these rival episodes, and I don't know, man. Like they did the John Cena and Randy Orton one, and I don't want to watch it because I just feel too old now. I'm like, this is bullcrap.
You're telling me I got on here and you said you were 1 year old.
He said
I remember watching the pay-per-view that we're watching now and like fully remember it. So
yeah, the first one I fully remember. I always say it was like 2021, but from talking to my cousins and my dad and my mom and stuff, I guess we've been ordering the pay-per-view since like WrestleMania 15, 16. Because like I said, we would always have parties, and my cousins were the ones that were always into it. So they would all come over, they'd bring their friends over, and then you know me, I'm like a 7-8-year-old at the time, or however old I was, and I wanted to be cool. So I was like, let me hang out with my cousins and watch wrestling. But 20 and 2021, I remember like vividly. I remember exactly where I was at when John Cena and Batista won. But I'm sure that I sat there and watched everyone because.
So I grew up in South Holland, and
Okay.
every year,
yeah, I know where that's.
I want to say, I remember either WrestleMania 16 or 17. I had a buddy who lived up the street from me, and his parents would get him WrestleMania every year. We'd go to his house, like you said, we'd watch WrestleMania at his house. And I remember one year he had some friends from his school over. Him and I went to different schools, and we used to wrestle backyard on my trampoline. So we did like a whole wrestling thing before we went to go watch WrestleMania.
I'm done.
And this one kid, I put in an F5, and he held on to me, and I actually broke his collarbone. We didn't know that we broke his collarbone at the time. So I broke his collarbone, and we went and sat through WrestleMania. He sat there with a broken collarbone the entire time watching WrestleMania. I didn't find out till like a week or two later from talking to him that the kid broke his collarbone. His arm was in a sling and shit. So I broke someone's collarbone and then sat next to him and watched WrestleMania for
2.5
hours.
3
hours. Yeah, 2.5, 3 hours.
That's the other thing I will say, man, is that these 2-hour WrestleManias are like beautiful. These 5-6 hour ones, like I don't know. I'm happy they're starting an hour earlier this week or this year.
Yeah,
because I ain't trying to be up until midnight.
It's still gonna be a fucking grind though, because especially on Saturday you got to do Stand and Deliver and then WrestleMania.
I know. Don't remind me. And then on Friday, bro, we're gonna be up till midnight anyway, watching the SmackDown in the Hall of Fame. At least I am. And then don't you guys do your shows on Friday nights?
Saturdays.
Saturday night. Okay.
But like I said, I'm driving to Tennessee Friday night, so hopefully I get there in time to watch SmackDown, watch the Hall of Fame, and then we're not doing a show WrestleMania week because I'll be in Tennessee and I'm not bringing I'm going with my wife, my child, so I'm not trying to be on vacation and be like, oh hey, thanks for sitting here and watching wrestling with me all weekend. I'm also gonna go do a podcast and try to be quiet,
I completely
enjoy our vacation.
I've kind of learned I need to start doing that because I'm one of those where I don't like missing stuff. So I go to Wisconsin to see my mom and my stepdad and my grandma and stuff. And the last few times I've went, that's what I feel like all I'm doing is just doing the podcast. And it's next time I go, I want to schedule it. So I just don't because it's I feel bad. And it's so. And I miss one episode, and because everybody's so used to me being live every day, everybody's like, "Where are you at? Are you okay? Oh my god, what's wrong with you? Trent, are you okay?" I'm like, I need a day to not.
Yeah, you gotta take time to yourself.
I'm reset. That's why next Thursday, I may be going to the Sox home opener, but I don't know, and I'm debating, and I'm I don't know if I want to go, but I don't know, and.
You should go and take a day to yourself and just like I said, reset. So with me, I do this right, and then we were doing Creation Conversation Monday through Friday. Now it's just Fridays, which is nice because now I'll have a break till Friday. Friday comes, I do Creation Conversation in the morning. Saturday, I do Smack and Raw. Sunday, I'm going to be on with Heels for Life, and then I don't have anything scheduled Sunday nights because we just did Getting Off, and it's an every other week thing. So I get my breaks, right?
Yeah.
So I could refresh and come back in. When I was doing Monday through Friday Creation Conversation, and even though I was only doing it 2-3 days a week, on top of the stuff that I did on the weekends, dude, it wears you down.
Yeah.
Being live all the time. It really does.
No, I know. And that's kind of what I've realized. That's why people get upset with me about not doing some episodes. But I was telling you earlier, it's I'd rather do episodes where people are going to watch than do an episode where nobody's going to watch and I'm just sitting there twiddling my thumbs. There's been a few times I've done Dynamite and I've got 40 views in 2.5 hours. And I'm this is just not worth it. I could do a video game episode and everybody could go back and watch it instead of just, because nobody goes back and watches the live streams after they're over. They might go hit the like button and stuff, but nobody's going to watch me watch Raw after Raw's already over, so.
The way we do it, we do get people to go back and watch the live streams, but normally because most of the funny shit, we either say pre-show or post-show, and you only get that if you go watch the live stream. So
yeah, that's true. We got the honky tonk man at commentators. It looks like we got the WWF IC title matches. Rocky Maivia. If you can smell what
Do you know
Dwayne
who
is.
the Sultan is?
Who?
Do you know who the Sultan is?
No, who's the Sultan?
Let's see if you recognize him.
Is it Uncle Howdy?
No, it's not Uncle Howdy.
It looks like Uncle Howdy right there. Bro, that preview for that documentary, I think I cried like 5 times. I can't do it. I'm gonna bawl my eyes out like a big baby.
Oh, dude. Listen.
I'm not ready for it.
I was a huge Undertaker fan growing up. The next in line for me is Bray Wyatt. I've got The Fiend. He sits on my microphone for every wrestling show.
Oh, true. Oh, you got the belt too? True.
I've got the
Bro.
Burnt Fiend for all of my horror shows, and then I've got
you do know I'm a collector, right? You do know I'm a collector, right? Right.
And then I've got this version of Bray for when we do our news shows. So
you're gonna send me that belt? Funny as hell. I have the Firefly Funhouse one. I got the Ultimate one without the belt. I'm kind of sad. I didn't know the belt was like another version. And then what's the other one I have? Oh, and then I have the Eater of Worlds, but it's like loose and it's like an older one.
Yeah.
I finally found Harper and Rowan. I found them as the Bludgeon Brothers. And then I found Harper. I went to a Hardy Boys event a few years ago, and it had one when he had like his like white shirt and everything. It's like an older one. So, but I was hoping. I hope that I did see that they just are now going to be releasing figures of him again. So I'm hoping we get another Eater of Worlds one because I really want like the one. I wish they'd come out with one with his chair. I think that'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Rocky Maivia. Who would have thought 27 years later he'll be competing at WrestleMania in Philly? I'm dead. It's so funny. Rocky Maivia, man. It's so nuts. Like, it just like...
Jadis. I remember
Oh,
Jadis.
look at Jade. I thought Jadis would be in school. So, but Jadis, appreciate you, bro.
Jadis came through and hung out with us for a little while after you came on.
Jadis is the GOAT, man. I love Jadis. We gotta give Jadis his credit. We got 54 people in here also. He said, Jadis, you're in school and you're watching. Jadis, this is why I love you. He's in school and watching. Tell your teachers to subscribe. Put it on the video board. So I gotta figure out who this is. Is he an elf? He looks like he's wearing elf shoes. Does he take off the mask?
Hey, Tony Atlas.
Oh, shoot. So, Tony looking good. Kind of. Oh, yeah.
So I will tell you this. This match is actually very apropos for what we're getting for WrestleMania this year.
What do you mean?
This matchup is very close to the main event that The Rock wanted to have at WrestleMania and didn't get.
Gotcha. Okay. Is that Vader?
That's not Vader. Vader's tag teaming with Mankind later.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I did say that.
That's Rikishi.
Is that Bull Bacano?
That's Rikishi.
Shut the fuck. Huh?
The Sultan is Rikishi.
Shut the fuck. Really?
Jimmy and Jay's dad. This is a bloodline matchup.
Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Really?
Yeah.
Really? Stop it. Really? The salt? Really? Man, how many characters did Rikishi have until he became Rikishi?
Well, he had I think he was Head Shrinker. He was the Sultan. Let's see what else they got on here for him. I got it. His Wikipedia right here.
It's so nuts. It's so funny too because they're like, I remember when I first ever, like when I would start looking up stuff, and I looked up Husky Harris. I had no idea it was Bray Wyatt. I'm like, oh my god, like it makes complete sense. Like just little things like, bro, Rikishi was skinny, kinda. I mean,
so I think at least in WWF he only had the 3 gimmicks. It was Head Shrinker, Fatu, Rikishi, and the Sultan.
Okay,
but if you look at his ring names, dude's got more ring names.
I was looking it up. Jeez, I didn't know he had so many ring names. There's also one that's a Solo Fatu Jr. Is that where they got Solo?
Salofa Fatu Jr. Yeah, I believe that's his actual name. So that's where Solo got his name, was from his dad.
Isn't that crazy? Man, that's like you could not even be able to tell. Like I could not, like if you did not point that out, I would not be able to tell that that's Rikishi. That's crazy.
Also, I mean, obviously from the Rikishi that we know from Too Cool and shit, very slimmed down. Like,
well, that's what I'm saying. Like I did not, honestly, I thought Rikishi was always like a heavier dude, like, you know. But that's crazy.
Still got that ass though.
Oh, always. I mean, he was hiding it back then before he decided to bring it out and put it in everybody's face.
Baggy pants and pointy shoes.
I want like a close up. I want to see if like you could like see in the eyes. Oh, there we go. Holy crap! Yep.
As soon as you ask for
it. As soon as I said it, that's so great. Jay just said Desmond Ritter. I'm dead. Jay, just stop it.
R-I-D-D, not T-T. Close though.
You're close, Jadis. Gotta love it. Another rookie mistake.
So I will say this. I saw something, because for those of you watching the show who are unfamiliar, in the most PG sense possible, I will say we are the #1 wrestling podcast on places where you can find people having sex on the internet.
Yeah, okay. So why did I look up your thing, bro? Why? I looked up your thing. And I click on one of the things, and it brings me to Pornhub, and I'm like, what? I remember you telling me that, but the fact that I looked it up and it like I'm just like, that's great. I'm like, this is insane. And then all of a sudden the thumbnail was like, because I clicked on it and I accidentally went back and it like showed up like the thumbnail. I'm like, this is great. I'm like, you can just watch the podcast if it's just like.
Because, as you know, in this space, you have to differentiate yourself. You have to make yourself different, right?
Not PG, Jadis. Not at all. Not at all.
There's a million wrestling podcasts that talk about WWE.
A million.
So how do we make ourselves different? Put ourselves somewhere where no one else is putting their stuff. And then we market ourselves as the #1 there. And we've done watch-alongs to parodies on the website and everything like that. And we've molded our whole show around that kind of theme, right? So, like, to differentiate ourselves. That's why, because nobody else was doing it, so why not? To answer Jadis's question, I stopped supporting the Bears during Cutler years, and I said I would not come back to being a Bears fan until they had a winning season. And everyone said, no, this last year, they're like, you got to start watching, Justin Fields, we're good. I'm like, if they have a winning season, I'll come back. And every game, as I heard how things went, I'm like, yeah, y'all told me I should be watching this, and apparently I didn't waste my time.
No, you get good thing, because man, I just listen, like, and that's the thing, like me and Jadis talk about football all the time, and it's like he asked me about the Bears and he asked me about this and that, and I was kind of telling you before we went live, kind of how I used to be with the White Sox. Like, the White Sox used to it used to really ruin my day. Like, they lost the game, I could not be on a podcast, I couldn't talk to nobody. I was just so angry at life. I was like this and that. So it's like I've kind of become not even like numb to it, but I'm just like, it is what it is. And it's like, if stuff happens, it like, you know what I mean? And it's like, I kind of think about it as a business too, like with the wrestling. It's like, I have my favorites, but I also got to realize like who's going to win, like the whole Liv Morgan nonsense. Like there was no reason, like everybody's crying about Liv Morgan, but it's just like the match that they all want to see is Becky and Rhea. It's not going to happen. I'd love to see Liv. I love Liv Morgan, but it's just not going to happen. So it's like, I try to take myself like that. And it's definitely helped thinking of it more of as a business than anything, because I can't get myself upset because these guys get traded. It happens. It is what it is. Like, like I have like a bunch of White Sox memorabilia of all the guys that got traded. It's like, well, what am I going to do? It's like, I can't control that they get traded. I'm not going to go cry on Twitter because they're gone. I'm still going to watch the White Sox. They're going to suck, but support my team. I'll go to opening day like we were just talking about. Hopefully my uncle still invites me, but we'll see how that goes. So. It's just like, man, I can't deal with it.
I saw this thing on TikTok that I'm going to relate to this pay-per-view in kind of what we do over on my show. So it was called Cost Per Nut, right? It was your value, the amount of money spent on you versus the value that you bring while dating. So far, I have to say WrestleMania 13's cost per nut is very high. We're paying a lot of money for not a lot of, I mean, retrospective, yeah, watching the Sultan versus The Rock, knowing that it's Rikishi and having the bloodline stuff, very cool. But at the time, I didn't give a fuck about the Sultan. Rocky Maivia wasn't shit. Like half the people didn't like him. He just debuted in September of the year before or November at Survivor Series. So like not a very high CPN going on right now with the tag team match and the IC title match.
So do you think while we're talking about this, do you think we could see Rikishi WrestleMania weekend in some sort of way?
I don't even know if I want him now because your sons have been feuding and fighting, right? And you haven't said shit. You stayed out of it. You've done nothing. Roman was treating your children poorly, abusing them. You sat back. You didn't say nothing. You didn't do nothing. Now, all of a sudden, after everything that's happened, after one child cost the other child the world title in his match against Roman, now all of a sudden you want to show up and step in. You've missed too much. You know, like why are you showing up now?
Yeah, I think if they, I'm not allowed to say Miss Bliss's name, and I think I accidentally almost said it because of my TV decides to go off. Can't say her first name,
right?
But no, and that's the thing. It's just like, you know, like, and that's a good point where it's just like there's so many matches that like as I've gotten older, I've definitely watched more of, but like rewatching these as like a kid, like WrestleMania like 16 and stuff, the only two matches I'd ever watched was the TLC and the Fatal 4-Way. But then like as I've gotten older, I like watch a few more, and then like there's like, because like I was always that guy. I always liked watching the hardcore, the no DQ matches. I never liked watching like just a regular singles match for the title. I always needed a stipulation. But obviously as I've gotten older, it just like, you know, and that's the thing. It's like a lot of these matches, like I've noticed a lot, and it kind of makes sense on why it was the way it was for so long. Like if you look at like WrestleMania 1, there was like 15, 16 matches, but there were 4 to 5 minutes each. So it's like, that kind of makes sense why Vince always thought that WrestleMania should have 17 matches and have 5-minute matches, because that's what he always was doing, to where he didn't realize times changed. And I'd rather watch 6 20-minute matches that have a story than anything. And as I'm talking, Mr. Rocky Maivia gets the dub.
Pulls the tights, which is a little bit of
heel Rocky.
A little tease for what's coming.
Oh, gotta love it. Mr. Rocky. That wasn't a bad match, though. I mean, they actually, you know.
I was going to say, getting to wrestle your cousin on WrestleMania had to be cool for him. You knew Rikishi was going to take care of him, make him look like $1 million. Yeah. I never understood the Bob Backlund Iron Sheik dual.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a little interesting. It's just also so crazy to see like how like some like I never knew like that like not Bret Hart, Jimmy Hart, and oh my god, why can't I think of his name? Oh my god, the manager for WrestleMania 1. Who the hell is the manager? Oh my god, the manager for Bobby Heenan. Like I never realized how many people they actually managed.
Oh yeah,
like they were always like
a family.
Yeah,
it was the Heenan family. Oh, look at Rocky Maivia or Rocky Johnson.
Oh shoot! Did you watch that Young Rock show that was on NBC? Man, I'm so mad it ended, but I feel like I learned so much about like the whole family and the whole situation and everything, and it's just so crazy. And now like watching this stuff, and like there's like little things that like I'm just like, okay.
This is really like watching, I mean, don't get me wrong, Rocky Johnson married into the family, so he's not really, but like this is some bloodline shit before we got our bloodline shit this year. This is kind of cool.
Yeah, that is kind. It's so crazy too. Like if you go back and like watch it, like the little things that they could bring in, because like if they really wanted to, I mean, they could kind of like if like again they probably wouldn't, but like imagine like them just like make it like if The Rock made a comment about like this about what I mean about this match after seeing the We Want Rikishi, just something like that. It'd just be like, oh my god.
And you learned from Young Rock, because you talked about it, how close the Iron Sheik was to The Rock when he was growing up, and his father, and all of that.
All
like,
I mean, all of them.
all the episodes, yeah.
I mean, everything, and it's just like so cool, like that they were able to like I don't know. As a kid, I always felt cool hanging out with like my dad and his friends. Like they always would play poker and stuff or like blackjack, and I always want to sit there and be like the cool kid. And it's just so cool to see like that's what The Rock did. Like he grew up with them. Andre, he had like that. He had a day at like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He had that with Andre the Giant. Like what? Or like Andre would bring him to school. Like it's just so crazy that like, But
they got
and that's why it's like,
at WrestleMania.
This is a moment I didn't know ever happened, and it just that's so cool. I like it. Rocky Johnson still looks in decent or in really good shape. Not
for the most part, yeah. A little bit of a dad bod going on, but not bad.
Nah, man. Oh, we got Mr. Ken Shamrock, the special guest referee. Do you play the video game?
I didn't play 2K23, and I haven't got 24. So for me, the 2K games, the joy that I had growing up was getting together with my friends, creating content, having matches against each other. We all had wrestlers. Like I said, we used to backyard wrestle, so we'd all come up with characters. We'd make those characters, and if we weren't wrestling in the backyard, we'd play against each other in the game and this and that. And as I got older and everyone kind of moved away and all that, I'd still go and I'd still make all the shit, but then it was just kind of sitting there because I didn't have them over at the house to play with. It was hard to find time to get together and do that shit. So much as I do love the games and I see some shit, I'm like, this is so cool and it looks beautiful and I want to play it. I spend money on the games and I spend all this time creating shit, and then it just kind of sits there because the joy that I had from it, I don't get anymore by not being able to hook up with my friends like I used to and play the way I used to,
Yeah, and you're absolutely right, because like that's how me and my friends were. Like my friends would come over and like we would do like we would always do like Royal Rumbles or like elimination chambers, and we would always be like, okay, let's try to last to the final two, and then we just beat the crap out of each other. And then it's like when your friend would hit you, and then you're like, okay, I get a cheap shot or whatever. And I find myself doing that too, where it's like I like doing the modes, but it's like now that like because I beat Showcase mode, I beat the women's and the men's My Rise. It's like I kind of feel like I now beat it all, so it's like now what do I do? It's like I love playing the matches, but there's sometimes like you can only play those matches so much that it's like like I like recording episodes now and then posting them to the YouTube because it gives me like I did a match last night and I'm gonna post it at some point this week with Trick and Mello in a casket match. So it's like just like stuff like that, and then I post it where it's like if I'm just playing, I don't know, I get bored sometimes. Because I'm like, what am I like? I feel like I need like a reason to play. Like, what am I playing like for? Like, at least like with Showcase, I'm unlocking all the arenas. So it's like, but.
It's weird having, because this is essentially once China shows up, we're in that DX era, but we've got Triple H coming out to
Hunter Hearst Helms. So if anybody does not know, if you're too young like Mr. Jadis over here, Hunter Hearst Helmsley is Mr. Triple H, and he is the one that is running the WWE. In case nobody knew, I would hope you guys would know by now. We've seen him a few times, but I know sometimes people don't, So, China and Hunter. Also, Goldust being in a lot more WrestleManias than I knew. Very interesting. I never knew you had like these singles matches.
And that's also why the Cody thing is so important to me, right? Because we know how important Dusty Rhodes was to wrestling. Arguably, there's an argument to be made that Goldust is really the character that kicked off the Attitude Era, which is still to this day one of the biggest booms in wrestling, regardless of how much of the content actually aged well in 2024. Still one of the biggest booms in professional wrestling, popularity-wise. And the Goldust character kicked that off, right? And neither Goldust nor Dusty ever won that championship. And as a family, it's very important to me to see that family get that title, for the legacy of the family and everything they've done for wrestling.
Yeah, and it's like I also kind of think about it too. It's like okay, like I don't know exactly like what year Cody was born, but I also think about it like this. It's like Cody very well could have been like backstage at these old ass WrestleManias. Or like,
oh yeah,
I think it was like WrestleMania, like I forgot which one it was that Dusty went in, or I think it was Dusty or one of them. But it was like the first time that Roman, Cody, The Rock were all at the same arena for the first time. And it's like now you think about all these years later, it's like so crazy that like you could really go back to like a Hall of Fame speech that all of them were sitting there, and you just never knew that we would be where we're at 7 years later. And I can't even believe I'm saying that. It's disgusting.
I'm pretty sure Cody's around my age, a little older maybe. So if that's the case, he was at least 9, if not 10 or 11 at this point. I also had the biggest crush on Marlena / Terry Runnels growing up.
He's 38. Is he the same age as you?
No, I'll be 37. So he's 2 years older than me. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So he was like 10.
Yep.
Man. The women, oh, man, it makes me so mad seeing what they look like now. Like Sunny. I haven't seen Sable in forever, but did you see that picture of Terry lately? She doesn't look that great.
She had a hard life after wrestling. She was with New Jack for a while, and they did some crazy shit,
Yeah. That's so many. When does Triple H become Triple H? Is it 16?
It is after WrestleMania 14, I believe. So after WrestleMania 14, that Monday Night Raw in 1998, because WrestleMania 14 is essentially Shawn Michaels' last match. He loses the title and he goes away.
Oh, okay.
Triple H comes out and gives us the new DX, where X-Pac comes back from WCW. He was in the NWO. He's currently with WCW in the NWO right now, doing his thing.
Gotcha. Okay, see, like those are earlier how I was saying connecting the dots. That's the dots I'm talking about. Okay. So who does? Because obviously I'm gonna watch it Saturday, but I'll probably forget. Who does Shawn face at 14?
Stone Cold.
That's right. That's
Austin
right. Okay.
Wins the Royal Rumble. They
that's
go
right.
in.
You know what? Now I have that T-shirt. That's right. That's where. Okay, so that's where the wrestle. Okay. Never mind.
It's going to be Shawn Michaels versus Stone Cold Steve Austin with Mike Tyson as a special guest referee.
Okay.
Up until that point.
Okay. It's funny that you say that though, because I think he's actually in the picture for WrestleMania 14. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is right there. Yeah, Shawn. Yep.
So. He becomes Triple H after 14. As he said, he becomes the Game after 15 after turning on X-Pac. But what's up, beautiful bearded bastards?
Hey, we got George in the house. What's up, George? Man, we love George. George might be new to all the YouTube community and everything, but George has been killing it. So love the beautiful bearded bastards.
At this point right now, Triple H is basically just Shawn Michaels' sidekick. Right?
Yeah.
So it's not until Shawn goes that he really, because he's Intercontinental Champion. He has a great Intercontinental Championship feud with The Rock and shit. But once Shawn leaves, Hunter really gets into the spotlight and comes up.
Because then so Shawn leaves and he doesn't come back until the Survivor Series, right? Where he wins the world title in the Elimination Chamber.
No. He comes back before that and I think it's SummerSlam. He has a match with Triple H because he comes back. Triple H attacks him. It's a whole thing. His first match back is Shawn Michaels in jeans in a no DQ match against Triple H.
Oh, that Royal Rumble 2000 or not? Is it the Royal Rumble, right? Where they ended in no contest or whatever?
I thought it was SummerSlam, but it might have been Royal Rumble.
I don't know. I forget. I think because I've seen that match a few times. Like I said, I've always went back and watched them. I just never knew. Like I said, I just wanted to see them beat the crap out of each other. So I just wanted to see blood. I wanted to see weapons. I wanted to see all of that.
Let's see.
Because I did at one point when the network first ever came out, I went back and I watched every single pay-per-view of like I just went in order. I went from Armageddon, Backlash, Capital Punishment, Cyber. So I just went through every single one of them and watched every match that I could think of that I would enjoy. Because
so after this, as Bakley said, is when the curtain call and
with Nash and Hall and all of them.
No, this would have been before that because Nash and Hall showed up in 96.
Okay.
So the curtain call happened before this. So this is actually him kind of climbing out of being punished.
Okay.
But Shawn Michaels returned on June 3rd of 2002. So it would have been SummerSlam.
Okay. It was okay. So it was SummerSlam. I will say this too. Watching this match, it kind of reminds me, and like I was saying, like the comparisons. I feel like this is going to be the kind of match like LA Knight and AJ Styles. It's a singles match. Obviously, they don't got like a manager, but like this is like I don't know. As I watch these, I've just noticed like they kind of do the same thing. They got like one men's rivalry. They got like a ladder match. They got like like just stuff like just random things that they seem to like do like every year.
Yes, 1996 was that King of the Ring. So it was King of the Ring 96. Triple H was supposed to win. The curtain call happened. Triple H got punished and had to eat shit. Stone Cold got that, became, who he did the Austin 316 promo, which is all kind of building to where we're at now for WrestleMania after King of the Ring 96. And then WrestleMania, again, this is that match with Bret that really solidified him, gave him that iconic picture and everything. And then from here, it's rocket ship to WrestleMania 14, where he wins his first title. So 96 to 98 are like the biggest years for building Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Steve Austin. Terry. Man, Terry.
Chyna with her old jaw.
And then Chyna just said, F this. Chyna just looks just like so unhappy. She's like, I'm done with this nonsense.
Well, they found her in a gym working out, and they had the idea of like, because DX is heels, what's more heelish than instead of getting like a big male bodyguard, get a big female bodyguard to protect them from people.
Yeah.
Like that's where this whole idea came in. And then obviously Triple H and Chyna started dating through this for a little while before him and Stephanie got together.
And then they got married in a parking lot. I remember that part. It was so great. There were so many parts too, like, cause like my parents, like obviously my dad and my cousins watched it, but my mom like didn't want me watching it because like they So yeah. it was just like there's so many things I've had to go back and rewatch because my mom would be like, no, you can't watch this. She's like, all right, oops.
And then after all of that, what does Tino do? He says, hey, mom and dad, come check out this podcast I'm going to be on. The #1 wrestling podcast on Pornhub. Come check this out.
Man.
I still remember when you said your parents were in the chat, and I was like, I don't know how to do my thing knowing your parents are watching me talk to you about like that. It was weird for me at first, but I was like, fuck it, this is what we do.
That's okay. That's just your niche,
That is our niche.
It's okay. I just know I'll live on that site forever. So dead. It's so funny. Like, okay, like I've never done it because I really don't want to. Like, because like I really don't like want to like go on the website. But like if I search your name on like one of the sites, would like it come up like all your episodes? Like the podcast name?
So if you search Creation World, everything's under Creation World. So Creation World is the banner that my boy Travis created, that all of our shut it, Matt, you loved it. All of our podcasts fall under. So the Creation Conversation, Smacking It Raw, my horror podcast, Getting Off, all of that is under the banner of Creation World. So anything that you search Creation World should bring you to those videos.
Okay.
But if anyone's wondering, the easiest way to do it is pornhub.com/model/Creation World.
Okay.
or just go to my linktree/Smacking It Raw, and the
I
link's
mean
right there.
that's the easiest probably too.
Yep.
But like what? I'm sorry, but like imagine like Rhea just sitting there with the cigar, just like what? Like I was watching the Piper's Pit from WrestleMania like 7, and this guy's just smoking a cigarette like it's nothing. Like what?
Mhm.
Like it's just like imagine like Roman or Cody just sitting there just smoking. What? Or Riddle. Like
They
imagine.
did an entire thing in 1998 WCW where the Giant, Big Show's character, was that he smoked cigarettes.
I'm dead.
There was at least a month of just like his whole thing was he was in the NWO and he smoked cigarettes.
You good, bro? You okay? I love you.
Here, let's know the guy that literally just woke up.
I just asked a question. I'm sorry.
Are you okay? No, I'm tired. I just woke up.
Okay. Sorry. You just woke up? My bad.
I think he needs a hug. Go give him a hug.
Yeah.
Nothing. I don't want to get beat up.
You won't get beat up.
He-
Nobody beats someone up for giving them a hug.
I'll get beat up.
He will get beat up.
I
I just woke up. Don't touch me.
I ain't touching you.
I'm like a bear when I fucking see. Where's my food?
What are you looking for? Where did I see it?
Definitely haven't seen it somewhere.
The pink one, right, or blue?
It's like pink.
Is it over there by the candles?
Bagley's chanting, touch him.
You're not helping here, Cage. Cage is a bad influence.
Making it appropriate too. Jesus Christ.
No.
Well,
You want to, if you feel in there, maybe it fell in
I
there.
already did.
I was gonna say Goldust is not only losing face paint but also clothes. The more this match goes on, he's getting
Yeah, I've
nakeder
noticed
and
that.
nakeder.
Why is he getting? Is that just like why did he want to get naked so much? Goldust needs to like.
I mean, listen, we're trying to get the energy out of Tino that Goldust is giving Triple H right now. That's all we're saying. Go give that man a hug.
Oh my God, these people. Oh. That's the one thing that's cool about the video game this year too, is like everybody has face paint. The face paint comes off the more the match goes on. So like if you use
Really?
Stardust, like his face will be like, it will look like Cody.
Okay.
So it's very like those little details are so cool that it just like, I don't know, like you said, like those video games like back in the day, like SmackDown versus Raws and like Here Comes Your Pains and then like No Mercy. Like I've been playing those forever that it just like.
So my co-host Vince is actually making our friend group on 2K, and he's been sending me logos for the character that he's making for me. That actually is really dope. So, because obviously Ritter isn't an available last name, right?
Yeah.
So the closest thing we get is Reaper. So in every game, I'm Matt Reaper instead of Ritter.
I'm gonna do the Reaper, and I'm gonna download Riddle, and I'm gonna do Riddle versus the Reaper.
I'll win.
I'll send it to you.
Is Riddle?
I saw you have it
You
yesterday
cannot find it anywhere.
when you were sitting on the when we were watching the documentary. I swear my house eats stuff. I lost the controller like 3 weeks ago, and I still can't find it. I have no idea where it went.
Yeah, for some reason it likes to eat my stuff. Especially when I'm trying to do something.
You gotta love it, man.
I can't just,
So Riddle's in 2K24.
No, he's not. I was just gonna down. I'm sure somebody downloaded him or made him as a created character. Like people make anybody, bro. Like you could like literally
Yeah, I know.
Spider-Man,
I know.
Batman. I mean, it's kind of nuts.
Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger. I downloaded all that shit.
I think last year I did like a 15-man Royal Rumble of just all horror characters. Hey, the people that do that though, I give them credit because the way they look fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
And they look like I saw somebody make a Darby Allin, and it looks just like Darby. This match is longer than I thought it would be.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
I guess it isn't really for anything, right? Like, there's no title on the line or anything. So, yeah, I can see that.
I was just about to go and move that.
This is literally what I did yesterday.
Did you? Was it upstairs? One?
No, I put it right here when I went to bed. That's why I don't understand where it's at. Because I didn't want to lose it, so I put it right here and I went to bed.
Got to love it.
Just the name tag disappeared beneath your paperwork.
See? That bear hug's what he's going to do to you if you try and hug him.
I know. And China's just whipping Terry back and forth. And Hunter Hearst Helmsley picks up the dub. So while Triple H celebrate, I'm going to go and look around for a second, see if I can find stuff.
Got to find that shit.
Yeah. But the next match on the card, he said, no, made Matt into a Bray Wyatt character. I'm done. That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
We got Mankind and Vader taking on the Owen Hart and the British Bulldog.
How much Owen Hart have you? Well, you've been watching WrestleMania, so you've seen some Owen Hart.
Yeah. I can't really say which one is my favorite so far, though. Like I like a little bit about each one, but there's not one I'm just like, oh my god, this is like the greatest like ever. Maybe it's because it's like the first time I'm watching them, but like I don't know. Goldust also looks like he hasn't aged. He's just got a little bit like older. He looks the same.
Pretty much, yeah. It's all that makeup.
That's what I need. I need some makeup. Some blush.
Dude, you're kidding me.
Did it fall on the side there?
I also
On that side?
I don't see it nowhere. I've been looking.
I don't know, bro. Sometimes these things like
that knee.
she literally whipped her like back and forth, back and forth.
Just a rag doll.
No. Shawn Michaels still types like that. He's still typing like this, like it's fucking guy. He didn't know how to use a computer. Oh, I thought that was it.
Bro, like, how? And it's literally nowhere else. That's what's confusing me.
Did you go back
One of my
upstairs?
favorite things.
I went to bed. Oh.
One of my favorite things in wrestling is the saga of Undertaker and Paul Bearer, and how Paul Bearer, after turning on the Undertaker, just went and like got a faction of people to try and fuck up the Undertaker.
So he aligned himself with Mankind and Vader then?
He aligned himself with Mankind, then they went and got Vader, and then eventually he gets Kane and brings Kane in.
Okay.
But Paul Bearer went from like being the Undertaker's biggest ally, holding the urn and giving him his power, to like everything he's going to do is take the Undertaker down. Mankind was one of like the first people he went to do that.
Matt,
Vader is fucking Vader.
Matt, this one's for you. We got 69 people in the chat right now, so thank you everybody coming.
69. That's my favorite number.
I'm fucking dead.
I don't know if you guys knew that.
I'm done. He said that's my favorite number. Whatever works, right? Oh, this man's carrying around slammies. This man's carrying around titles. Owen just living the best life.
Yeah, then before Mania 15, he's like, just kidding. It was all a joke to fool Kane.
Oh, Jerry. Oh, King. Or JR.
Jim Ross, yeah.
Jim Ross, not the King. Then before Mania 15, he goes, just kidding. It was a joke to fool Kane. I'm done. That's great. Yeah, when I was a kid, I really thought Undertaker was controlled by the urn.
That was the beautiful that's the beauty of wrestling, right?
I
try and watch wrestling that same way. I try and watch wrestling like it's a TV show and not like it's a sport. I try not to worry about like the business aspect of it. I watch it like I would watch any other TV show, because the stuff that I enjoy about wrestling is the stuff I've been talking about. It's the lore, it's the stories. I'm not a match guy. I can enjoy and appreciate a good match, but I'm not like one of the people that can recite to you, this match was this many stars. Like I don't care about the in-ring as much as I care about how we get to the in-ring and why these guys are fighting. And that's why I watch wrestling. That's how I enjoy it. So like I said, everything that I remember, I think about, I talk about, it's all that build, that story, the stuff with Undertaker and Kane and the family and all of that leading up to their matches, more so than how good the matches actually were.
Yeah, that's very true. I say it a lot too. Like I also feel like obviously like not now, because like they really weren't like superstars. Like Raw kind of just was like maybe beginning, because Raw didn't start till 98, right?
No, Raw started in 95.
Okay, so it's been going on for a while. It's like I just feel like sometimes like the build of the matches are so much better than the actual matches.
Yep.
Like I've watched a lot of the builds. Like when I went and did this last year, I went back and watched every single build from WrestleMania 17 or 16 all the way to WrestleMania 33. And it was like watching them, like I'd get so excited for the matches, but then I'd watch the match and I'm like, this sucked. Like this was not what I thought it was.
I was wrong. 93.
Oh shoot, okay.
So
yeah, I thought it didn't start till like 98.
1993 on USA.
Okay. I like it. It was on USA. It was on Spike. It was oh my god. I remember when it went back to USA for like the first time after it was on Spike for so long, and I'm just like sitting there. I'm like, this is like, I don't know.
However, right now, so Raw's War, which became like the second hour, that started in 97, and this is the era where WWE really gets heavy into that storytelling stuff on Raw. SmackDown debuted in 99, so that's coming up.
Okay. Because The Rock was the reason why SmackDown started, right?
Yeah. Someday Matt will look at me like he looks at a wrestling story. One day, Bakley, one day.
Cage is funny.
Oh, I love Bakley.
This guy is funny. That's why I also like trying to do these. It's like I've had so many people that like I actually talk to, but like I never really like see them too much into the stream. So it's like it's actually nice to be able to have like others that know like others that come and hang out and actually be able to like communicate and like. There's so many people that sometimes I just can't keep up.
What sucks is so like my work schedule. We're gonna get done with this, and I'm gonna go to work for 8 hours, right? So everybody that I know always streams while I'm at work. And if I can find some time to hop in, I try and hop in and check some shit out. But a lot of shit's going on while I'm in the middle of my work day because I work nights. I work 2:30 to 10:30. I get home at 11. which is why we stream so late.
I was just about to say that makes sense why you got, because I always wondered, I'm like, why do you guys stream so late? But that makes sense, and
yep,
you know, but that's just your time. Like I know, like on like I don't know, like on like Saturdays, like I know like at like a certain time, like I know you guys like are live, and like if I'm up because I'm usually up anyway, that's when I like just turn it on and stuff. But then there's days where I can't even make it to like midnight, and I'm like sleeping in my chair.
Where the hell have you been, my big sexy man? I miss you, Justin.
Justin was on last year's season. We had Justin. I think Justin was on like Wrestle. I forgot what WrestleMania it was, but Justin, bro, where you been at? How you doing? I feel like I haven't talked to him in forever.
How's Jeremy?
I know, right? It's so funny. Sometimes people will come in and I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I haven't talked to you since like last time you were on the show. I'm like, I feel bad. I'm like, I want to actually talk to people that like not just about a podcast. Like, what's up? How you doing? How's life?
Well, there was a point in time I hit him in my pants. There was a time where like me, Bakley, Tim King, Justin, like there was a group of us. Yeah. They would do just like live hangouts and shit. I'd come in, we'd have a good time, we'd all talk, we'd all bullshit. And as time went on, that all kind of broke up, and I miss that. I miss those guys.
Yup. Tim's another one. I've been trying to get Tim on forever because he's also like from Chicago, Cubs fan, Sox fan, stuff like that and everything. There's just so many people that I want to try to have. That's why I like doing stuff like this, because I try to get everybody involved. Like I tried to reach out to everybody I could that I know. I wanted to give everybody an opportunity because there were a few people that wanted to come on, like 2 or 3. And I'm like, well, I want to give everybody a chance because, you know, like you've never been on the show before. So finally able to have you on the show and, you know, get everybody involved.
I was kind of sad. You told me we might have some British guests. And
we were supposed to. We were supposed to have A to the K, the podcast, but something came up and they weren't able to join. So
yeah. Because I always love meeting new podcasters too. And
I know.
People, so.
Well, and that's the thing. Like I've because I don't know, like you know who SCW Steve is, right?
Yeah.
So like he was the first one that really like got me into like all this. Like that's kind of how I thought about doing live streams and everything, is like watching him. And then he was actually the first one that like invited me onto his show. Like he was like, that was my first ever like guest appearance. And it just like one of those that it's like I've just met so many different people through him and then through others that it just like, especially just a short amount of time, because like for like a few years there, I didn't really talk to nobody. Like I was just doing my shows. I was trying to promote it my best, but then I realized I'm like, I gotta like start talking to people and, you know.
See, that was Vince for me, who's now on my show, but he was with another show called Smacked Raw. And he's like, hey, we have a similar name. And I checked you out. We're both from Chicago. Let's start doing some stuff together. So we started working together a little bit, and then his schedule changed, and it didn't work out with the show he was on. He ended up coming over and working with me. But speaking of Steve,
it's like he just heard me. He literally just retweeted the post. It's like he's listening. Go ahead.
Speaking of Steve, Katie, my co-host, has done some stuff with Steve, and she has this great. Katie's doing great. But over at the Sheely Showcase, if you guys go check out anything she does, she has this great series called Inside the Mind Of. I've been on it. Steve's been on it, where she sits down with podcasters, asks some questions, wrestling related, but also kind of gets into the mind of like why people got into podcasting, what they love about it, stuff like that. Great series. You guys should go check it out. Steve's episode was really good. You guys definitely should go check that series out on YouTube.
Yeah, and it just brings like, you know, that's why I also like collabing with people, because it's like my people come to, like Jadis comes and hangs out with you, or like Cage will come and hang out, or like, you know, like other people that like maybe like just don't, you know, and it's just like that's just the way you got to do it, because, you know, maybe you meet somebody, they, you know, you want to, then you have them on their show, and then that's why I always try to say yes to everything, because it's like I always meet somebody new, and then it's like, you know, I mean, like, because like the show I did with you, who else was on it with us? I forgot who.
Well, it was just you, me, Katie, and Vince. So my two co-hosts.
Okay. Okay. I thought Vince. Okay, never mind that. I thought there was somebody else, but no, you know, that was a different one. I don't know. Like I said, I try to say yes to everybody, so I get very confused. Because that's the thing. Like I have the time right now, so I'm like, if I have the time, I'm just willing to do whatever I can, because, you know, and it's like there's times I'm just sitting there doing nothing, and I'm just like, okay, like let's go, like, let's talk. I got a lot to say too sometimes. So.
No, not you.
Yeah, no, not me. Especially when I'm watching lives, it's so hard for me to talk sometimes because I'm trying to focus. So it's like when I do like the Road to WrestleMania episode and I talk for an hour, people are like, well, why didn't you talk about it? I'm like, well, like, again, I'm trying to focus on Raw. I'm trying to post. I'm trying to like, that goes back to where like if I had somebody to help me and post it, it'd be so much, you know.
Hell yeah.
I gotta get a social media guy or girl.
So you know that Owen and British Bulldog are related by marriage, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, because
Yeah,
I know you said this is the first time you're watching this era of wrestling, or at least these WrestleManias. So
Yeah, I've watched a lot of the documentaries though, so like I kind of know some things, but it's like I said, connecting the dots. Like I've seen the Bret Hart the Bret Hart and Stone Cold thing like a million times, but I've just never watched the full match. So
Bulldog was big for a minute too. Like he was on the cusp of being in that main event picture, and then I don't know what happened. He's fucking huge.
he is. Owen Hart. It's also so weird to realize this is the Allstate Arena. Like it does it like I don't know. I was just there what month are we in now? March? I don't even know. Like 4 months ago, and it's just so crazy. Like wow.
Yeah, we're like halfway through March.
But I don't even know what day it is anymore. Like that's why, like I said, I don't know why you said Wednesday or whatever, but like when I set this up, I'm like, I had to go back and look at our messages. I'm like, wait, did he say Wednesday or Thursday? Because
I asked you. I didn't even say. I said, hey, when do you want to do it? And you said,
and I said Thursday, and I'm like, I don't know.
You were like, I have this set up for Thursday. I'm like, all right, cool. Luckily, like I said, since we're only doing Creation Conversation on Fridays, my Monday through Thursday in the mornings is wide open. And actually, this is better because Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, my daughter's in daycare. Tuesdays and Thursdays, she's here. So she likes to, like, especially when I do stuff in the morning, she loves to come in and just get involved and take over. She takes the headphones from me, comes on, says hi, asks questions, interrupts the whole flow of the show. But
gotta love it.
This was nice.
Yeah, no, yeah, well, man, and that's especially with baseball starting too, because I do like the White Sox stuff and everything. It's like I'm just like so flipping. Like the fact that opening day is next week, it's like I'm not even ready for it. Like I'm just not like at all.
Yes. Vaguely, I don't think there's a European title yet. You are correct.
No, I don't think so. Who was the first ever European champion?
I believe it was Owen.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
Mankind. I just got this Mankind figure that they had released, the Three Faces of Foley. I ordered that one because I have Mankind and I have Dude Love, and I don't need 3 figures of Dude Love. And it's just so weird to see, like...
I don't need 3 figures. You do. British Bulldog was first champion. I'm sorry. I think he wrestled Owen in the finals for it, but British Bulldog was the first champion, which makes sense. European title, British Bulldog.
Yeah. Yeah, that wouldn't make sense. Who's that guy? I don't know. Why are we showing older people? It's also, I watched these two and I'm like, oh my God, this 7-year-old now is like 30 years old. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's me.
Shut up. I wasn't talking about
me.
I wasn't talking about
7-year-old is 30 years old.
I'm talking about the little kid that's sitting in the front row.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That 7-year-old, that 9-year-old, that's me now. I'm that person, right? Not specifically that person, but that's where I'm at.
He said that's me. That's funny.
Oh,
I will say, like, watching these matches, it seems like most of them are been giving the good amount of time. They're not too long, they're not too short, they're not all disqualifications.
It's also crazy too because we're literally a year, 2 years away from a lot of these guys who are now mid-card WrestleMania being WrestleMania main eventers, right? Like, this is Mankind before Mankind really got big. Like, I love this version of Mankind, but this is still mid-card Mankind, mid-card Triple H, mid-card Stone Cold, mid-card The Rock. Guys that in a year, 2 years are going to be the biggest things in the fucking sport.
Like, that's why, like, I think about it now. Like, I try to think about it, like, in, like, the fact that, like, the way WWE is, it's like like in like a few years, like we could see like Braun and Mello be main eventing, or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, and then it's like Seth and Becky are like the older people, and it just like, it's so crazy. And it's like I always tell myself, I'm gonna stop watching wrestling after John Cena, Randy Orton, blah blah blah. But now I want to watch. I want to see KO. I want to see Seth. I want to see these. I want to see all the NXT people. I want to see like, I'm just like, well, back in it for 15 years.
I'm gonna be honest with you, like, so I
Never
love
will.
Seth, I love Cody, I love a lot of guys, but the reason I watch wrestling now is mostly for the women. Like, I got Tony D, I got my boy Tony D down in NXT. But once Bray was kind of done and gone, and then obviously passed away, that was the last male wrestler that I was really connected to, that I was really about, outside of wanting Cody to finish the story. For me, most of the enjoyment that I get is watching the women wrestle now. Like, my favorite wrestlers are the female wrestlers, not the men. So that's what's keeping me in it, right? Urias, I love Alexa Bliss. I can say it, you can't. Hopefully I don't trigger your thing and she doesn't hear me.
Yeah, no, it's just when I say it, because I say too loud when I speak. I think I talk too loud sometimes. So, well, yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, there's so many like talented women that it just like the fact that like Bianca Belair like has main events at all these WrestleManias, and now this year like we really have no idea what she's doing. It just shows how much talent that they have now. And it's like, I think that's like the biggest thing. It's like a few years ago, if somebody were to get hurt, it's like a baseball team. They had no depth. But now somebody gets hurt, you could bring in like a Tony D, a Braun, Corbin, and whatever. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many people that they can bring up. Or like the NXT women, like the way that they like I think the NXT women's division is the best. And I think the women's division of the NXT is going to be like, they might very well be better than what, other than just the 4 women that came out of the like the 4 horsewomen. And obviously we had Carmella, Alexa, Liv, etc. But I feel like all of these women could all have their own types of like stances, and like Tiffany Stratton. Like, who would have thought Tiffany Stratton was going to get over as fast as she did? And now everybody's in love with Tiffany. It's so funny.
Oh, dude, she improved so much so fast too. Like, a lot of credit to her, because like,
well,
from where she came and started to blow up. Yeah,
like, it's just so like the fact that like Roxanne is 21 years old. It's like at 2021, I just was trying to figure out. I'm still trying to figure out my life now, but like the fact that they are so young and they're doing this, it's crazy. Like Santino Marella's daughter, even like, who would have thought she'd be getting over? At least in my eyes, I think she's playing that character off fantastic. That like,
especially it hurts that I saw Santino debut the Miracle in Milan, and now his daughter's wrestling again. Makes me feel old as fuck.
What about Ava, bro? Like the fact, even though not wrestling, like the fact that Ava's in WWE Weekly is like, I forget that she's The Rock's daughter all the time.
Speaking of families, the old people that they keep showing in the crowd, that's Stu and Helen Hart. Those are Owen Hart's parents.
Okay, I was wondering, like, who the heck are these old people that they keep showing? And did it just end in a DQ?
Yeah.
Lame. Man. Oh, shoot. Vader has his mask off. I don't think I've seen Vader with his mask off.
Yeah. He something happened to it. He was fucking with it on the ring apron. They do say that Vader didn't wash his mask or his gloves, and people hated wrestling him because his gloves would have all that must and that smell when he go to grab you. Like, he didn't wash his gear.
Man, guy got to wash his hands. The Mandible Claw. Guys, the Mandible Claw has been around forever, it seems.
1997's forever. That hurts. That hurts.
Listen, after watching that documentary last night and realizing like the 2000s and all that shenanigans, like, I just can't. He said Trick Willie. Trick's another one. Trick's gonna be, I think Trick's gonna be bigger than people expect.
I cannot wait for WrestleMania and a whoop that Trick chant. Just like the entire WrestleMania crowd.
Oh, it's gonna be absolutely crazy. Hitman Hart.
Nobody watched Japan, Justin.
next match, I think, is Brett and
Yep.
Brett and Austin. No holds barred, guys. It's the match that everybody wants to see. Everybody wants to hear.
Also, later this year is when the Montreal Screwjob happens.
Man, I never knew about that until I watched the documentary, and I went back and watched like WrestleMania 26. I went back and watched a few things, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, because I never knew like what like the reason was.
It's crazy. So like if you're watching this package, the whole build is Brett complaining that he got screwed, right? He got screwed over and over and over again by Stone Cold, by HBK, by the World Wrestling Federation, only to actually literally outside of kayfabe, depending on who you ask, get screwed.
I need that because I'm not buying another one.
Yeah, no, we don't want that. What time do you have to leave here?
I was trying to leave as soon as I got up so I could take my car in.
Gotcha.
And I've been here for the next 35, 45 minutes.
I don't know where it could be.
Trying to think, I don't know. That's why I asked you if you went upstairs or something, because I know you made like food or whatever. I didn't know maybe if you like left on the counter or something.
Yeah, but no, because like I keep saying, I literally.
Well, no, I know you said you didn't go.
I went to bed.
No, I know. I was saying you didn't go to.
I hit it a few times and I put it right here.
Man, I swear this house. Like I said, I'm still looking for that controller I lost a month ago. My house eats stuff, Matt.
Boy.
It's awful.
So we just
where else could it be?
Well, is it inside of it? Like, can you like?
There's nothing I can't like.
Does that come off?
Not really. It like flips up.
Oh, and then what does it just go in there? Oh, okay.
I think this is what you can feel.
Gotcha. Okay. Ken Shamrock. As you guys know, this is the match that was on the showcase mode. We played it. I beat that whole showcase mode in 5 hours.
Really?
I have no idea how I did it so fast, but I was like, oh my god. All of a sudden I looked, I'm like, oh shoot, I'm almost done.
So we do a show called Return to Wrestling that's exclusive on Patreon. And we've been covering WCW. We're into 1998 now. And me and Travis on our last episode, we're just talking about like, if you only ever watch Bret Hart in WCW, you will not understand how good Bret Hart is, because Bret Hart in WCW compared to what he was here is terrible. This Bret Hart that we're seeing right now going into this match, because we talked about storytelling on Raw, right? Everything they got going on. This is him and Shawn, him and Stone Cold. Like, this is peak Bret Hart as a heel. The WCW stuff is nothing compared to this.
I think that's the next thing I need to do is like go back and like watch like some of the like old like Raws and SmackDowns. Like I said, I've watched all the pay-per-views so much that like I just like I need to go back and do that.
Well, that's what we do. So for Return to Wrestling, we started with the very first Nitro, and then we work our way up to a pay-per-view, and then the next one starts with the Nitro after the pay-per-view through the next pay-per-view. And that's how we do all of our retro reviews for Nitro for WCW.
I'm listening. I can hear you.
I know you are.
Okay. Yeah, I'll make sure. Yeah, no, I'm just standing here.
Trust me, I didn't think you were rude enough to just get up in the middle of a sentence and walk away and couldn't hear me.
No, I'm standing.
I take the headphones with me. Yeah, I take the headphones with me. I tell people all the time, I'm like, I'll be right back, but I can still hear you.
That's what I need to get. I need to get headphones, but I want to get the right pair. And I just cannot. I don't like buying things because then I seem like I make the wrong decision. So I'm just trying to find like the right ones, because that's the one thing I don't have. And a microphone is the other thing I need. Is a fancy one like that, because I have one, but it doesn't look like it's like all big and bulky and like. I
like this HyperX. I actually like it a lot, the Quadcast, and it wasn't that expensive. I'm actually looking to get a boom for it so I can swing it in and out. It's not just on my desk taking up room.
Yeah, that's true. Well. Oh, Brett. This is also great because I think this is also the Funko Pop that they have for Bret Hart. Is this like from this WrestleMania? And it's like the fact that like I'm watching these WrestleManias and realizing where all of these figures are from, and I'm like, oh, okay, it all makes sense now. Never knew that's how they made these figures. But it's starting. Let's see how accurate. Let's see how accurate the match was that I had with, because there were a couple parts there, bro, that I could not figure out. I was just like, oh my god, I was getting aggravated. At one point on the Brock Lesnar and Undertaker match from WrestleMania 30, I was like about to scream on my TV. I'm like, I can't
talk about that. I'd like to pretend that. Remember when Brock got canceled? Everyone's like, "Oh, he didn't beat the streak." That was the happiest thing I've ever heard because
I know, right? It was
that
Roman,
broke my
right?
heart. That broke my heart. Watching the Undertaker lose. No, Undertaker just never lost.
No, until Roman.
So I've got Funko Pops on this wall back here. You can't see the WWF ones, but I've got the Fiend. I've got an Amazon exclusive glow in the dark purple Undertaker. Triple H with the skull crown on, Becky Lynch, Vince McMahon in the purple or in the pink jacket, and then Ric Flair with the WCW title from 2K19.
Oh, so you got a lot of the rarer ones. Okay.
Just displayed. I got a bunch of other ones, but they're all up in a fucking tote in my
oh man, I got so many, it's gross. I've been having
I got nowhere to put them now.
Huh?
I got nowhere to put them now.
I know. That's my problem. I'm running out of room. I got no room for nothing. And I'm also, like I was telling you, I have to find somewhere to live by June, so I'm packing it all, and I'm just like, alrighty then. So, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I need to find this. I'm not leaving until I find it. Where it's going to be found at, I have no idea.
Like I don't know. I don't know how
17 days until WrestleMania 40.
Yes, sir. We got Chris. Chris is I don't know if you've ever had Chris in the show, but Chris is the biggest Bailey fan of all time. So it's Bailey mania to Chris and nothing else.
All right.
So,
Chris, how you feeling about the way they've been building Bailey's match compared to the others, seeing as technically she won the Royal Rumble and should be the main event of night one?
So do you think I said that she's going to start off night 1 or 2? What do you think?
Okay, so probably, but that pisses me off because I've always said enough is enough and it's time for a change. That's the Owen thing. They say that the main event, the winner of the Royal Rumble main event's WrestleMania. I've never been about the multiple main event thing. Like, for me, the main event closes the show, right?
Yeah.
The women winning the main event should close one night of the show. The men winning the Rumble should close the other night of the show. And they should be building the stories to make them matter so that they feel important enough to close the show. I get the idea of, well, this is a big marquee match. I don't care. Bailey won the Royal Rumble. She deserves night 1, in my opinion. And if you're not going to give her night 1, then you shouldn't have had her win the Rumble.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. It's like we all know, and everybody keeps making comments. And again, like I was telling you, like you got to think about it as a business. Like there's things I want, but again, it's just not going to happen. So it's just like that's the thing. You got to look like it's going to be Roman, Rock, Cody, and Seth. Like that's just what it's going to be. We already know. So
yeah,
it's like you can get upset, and I understand it. But again, it's not like they don't like. Again, what are we going to do? We want Bailey for the main event. It's not going to happen. So it's just like. You know, and that's kind of where I'm at with it, where it's just like it is what it is. And it's like I kind of think about it too, where it's like I feel like the opening match is the one that like kind of starts off the show also now. That they've kind of made it feel like the opener and the ending is like the two biggest matches of the night usually.
Let me ask you this though, right? Because you said business move, right? We're talking business.
Business. TKO.
Tickets for WrestleMania sell before the card is announced. You're not selling more tickets because Roman and The Rock are going to be in the main event. Putting them on the card sells the tickets. It doesn't matter where they're at, right?
Yeah.
People are going to tune in regardless. I don't, maybe
and that's
if you
the
put
thing.
Roman and Rock
People
on early,
say that.
people tune out after that. But like, does the placement of the matches really matter when the tickets are already sold before the card's even announced and the matches are made?
Yeah, and that's a good point because like when I went to Survivor Series last like 5 months ago, 4 months ago, however long ago it was, and I got the tickets before there were any matches that were made announced. But then all of a sudden we had 2 War Games matches announced, and I had my little cousin trying to get tickets at the last second, and it's like I feel like it is like with certain like I feel like with kids it is very like they want to know and they want to be a part of it. But it's like for like somebody like with me, like it's just like if it's on the card and if it's there, like I'm just happy I'm going to see it. Like
Right.
you know what I mean? Like we didn't like know which way it was gonna go, but I was just happy to be there live. And the fact that and obviously you could predict the way it's gonna be, but we don't know which way it's gonna be. I do believe either way. I feel like the ladder match is going to start off the other night either way,
Yeah.
or it's the second match because they always do that. And it'd be a good moment for, I think, R-Truth winning to start off WrestleMania. Because that's the thing I will say. If Bayley does start off WrestleMania, I feel like it'd be a good way to start it, only because then people, maybe it will give them extra adrenaline to get through the show. Like, if Bayley wins, I know exactly, like, Chris is going to be excited, and he's going to be like, oh, my God, let's keep going. But if Bayley loses, then it's going to be, I don't care about WrestleMania. This is lame.
I will give you that. I didn't stop watching, but 2 years ago, the Fiend match where he lost to Randy Orton really sucked the air out of night 2 for me. I love night 1. Night 1 was a banger. We got to night 2. The Fiend lost to Randy Orton. They did that whole thing.
Oh my God,
on fire and all that.
Man,
and
so dumb.
It kind of killed the whole vibe for the night for me.
Exactly. Well, and that's the thing. That's why, like, I feel like if they like if you start off night 1 with the ladder match and night 2 with Bayley, or night 1 with Bayley and night 2 with the ladder match, I feel like those are the 2 matches that very well could like start off and have again, because R-Truth has his moment. Again, people forget the man is scared to climb ladders. So, I don't know, and I feel like he's going to pretend it's the Royal Rumble and he's going to eliminate Judgment Day and think that he won the match. I could totally see it.
I want nothing more than R-Truth to get the Money in the Bank title from Damian Priest and
cash in.
on some sort of fluke cash in and win and get one run as champion. Because again, I love seeing these guys who have done so much in wrestling getting their flowers, and I feel like after everything he's done in professional wrestling and WWE, giving, even if it's a short one, giving R-Truth just one title reign as champion would be amazing.
Just one,
especially as R-Truth, like doing it in the most R-Truth way possible.
And even somebody made a comment too about how like they could possibly do it where like they like grab the titles and they fall and R-Truth catches them or something stupid like that, where it just like
split those titles, split them, please.
I heard that too. Why don't you like that's what I would do? Like I would have them like have Judgment Day take one title and then all of a sudden the other title falls and R-Truth catches it, and then you have Miz and Truth as one, and then you could have Judgment Day or whoever the hell you want as the other, because and give new designs. I'm so tired of looking at the blue and red. It looks like a bunch of M&Ms. Like I just can't. I'm over it.
I will say I do love this contrast of styles in this match, because this point, but even more so beyond this, especially after the broken neck and everything, Stone Cold adopts that brawler style. It's mostly kicks, punches, things like that. Whereas Bret Hart is obviously the excellence of execution. He's a very technical wrestler. So you've got Bret trying to have a technical match and Stone Cold just pounding the shit out of him.
Like literally. Damn. A submission specialist.
So how's this going compared to your 2K playthrough so far?
What do you mean?
Pretty spot on?
What do you mean?
Well, you were saying when you played the match. Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously I didn't do all these moves because, like, I'm not that fancy. But, I mean, like, for the most part, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's I played it by myself because I wanted to watch everything. I like to experience the game as, like, I'm just playing it. So I played it all the way through, and then I did it on the channel also. So, like, I watched a bunch of the stuff, and it was just, the only thing I don't like is it's like a lot of the bigger moments, a lot of the things it was like the slingshot. So like I had to grab a chair and beat up Bret Hart. But like then there was like one point that they like did it, and it would have been really cool to like see like the game have Stone Cold bleeding instead of like the real life.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that I didn't like about it, but I just enjoy it. And I know a lot of people don't like the showcase mode, but I mean, it is what it is. And I always like watching those little video packs, especially like the Firefly Funhouse one, like learning some things and stuff like that. Like there's just so many things. And like there's even things I learned playing the showcase that I didn't even realize when I was watching the WrestleManias back, as I have been lately. So it might not be everybody's cup of tea, but definitely enjoy it for like, you know, and like I said, you got to play through it to get the arenas. So at least it gives you a reason to play it.
Austin always made those chair shots look nasty, man. Like if you watch Hulk Hogan do a chair shot, he gives the safest but worst looking chair shots ever.
Oh, I know.
Hogan's garbage. I love Roxanne Perez as well. I'm really big on Lyra Valkyria right now. Though.
Do you like heel Roxanne?
I'm enjoying heel Roxanne. I'm hoping she's starting to step it up, and I want to see where this goes because babyface Roxanne seems like a perfect fit for her, but having that diversity of being able to do both is important. So as she's going, I'm enjoying it more, but I'm trying to see if she can really, really heal it up, you know?
Who do you think one woman is right now that's not being like maybe not used or maybe is being
Gigi
used?
Dolan.
Who?
Gigi Dolan.
So you think she'll be like a big time star eventually?
She absolutely could be, and I don't know why they're having her take loss after loss and they're not utilizing her. She has the charisma, she has the presence, she has the look.
This little 6-year-old's crying. That's so sad. Yeah, and that's very
She's
true.
The female Johnny Gargano.
Who, Roxanne or Gigi?
He's talking Roxanne.
Oh, okay. I like
Henley too.
Yeah, she's getting there, and especially with also Kalani. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many women that like the division is going to be so healthy at one point. It's so crazy how many people that they have, and like the way like they use like Chelsea Green and the way they like, you know what I mean? Like, it seems like almost everybody has some type of something going on besides obviously a few. And again, that's just the thing. It is what it is. It's just not gonna, you know, it's not gonna. Not every single person is gonna get their opportunity. Like again, like I keep saying, Stone Cold Steve Austin main evented against Austin. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kevin Owens did, and then he main evented against the Usos. So the fact that he's in the U.S. title match, yes, I get he's not main eventing, but I mean he's still in the card. Everybody has their moments of main eventing. Like I just learned a week ago that John Cena has a main event since WrestleMania 29. I'm like, holy crap!
Yeah, Sol Ruka, another one. Be really interesting to see where she goes now that she's healthy.
I want to marry Sol Ruka. Just saying.
If I ever get the chance, I'll let her know.
No, don't tell her that.
No, I'm gonna tell her. I'm be like, my boy Tino said he wants to shoot a shot. So
shit. I got a kissy face from some chick on Twitter. I texted my co-host for the baseball show. I was like, Deech, I'm gonna shoot my shot. He laughed at me. I'm like, don't.
See, I'm here to support you though. I'll be like, listen, Tino really wants to learn how to surf. Maybe you can teach him how to surf. He's a good guy.
I mean, shoot. Like, and it's so crazy because it's like we were talking about earlier, like the fact how like much like younger they are and like how like they're still like 22, 23 years old. It's just so crazy like how far they've gotten in such a short time that who knows what they'll be in 3-4 years. Like WrestleMania 50, like I know that's 10 years away, but like, you know, I mean,
I'll be almost fucking 50
Shut up.
for WrestleMania 50.
I'm not thinking about that. I'm just trying to think about like, you know, like who's going.
I'm almost 40 for WrestleMania 40. Like I bought this WrestleMania shirt. This is the only WrestleMania shirt I bought, and I bought it because I knew I could wear it for my 36th birthday. I'm wearing it. It's WrestleMania 36.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant 13. Oh, okay.
No. This WrestleMania shirt is the only WrestleMania shirt I own, and I bought it because I knew I could wear it for my 36th birthday.
Troll? I'll have to find my WrestleMania shirt and wear that one with Stone Cold and Shawn. I did not know that's what I'm saying. Like I have like that WrestleMania shirt and just never knew that.
You gotta wear. What are you doing 14 next week?
Saturday with Botkins.
Okay, so yeah, you got to find it before Saturday.
Mr. Botkins. He's gonna come on here and talk shit about the Bears and Bears all episode, and I'm excited.
Oh, there it is. Dude,
What?
he bleeds everywhere.
Speaking, that's the other thing. The blood on 2K, bro, is beautiful. Like, it smears everywhere. Like, Melo got bloody in that casket match I was telling you about, and the blood was just everywhere. It was dripping off his face. Like, it was like that's what I've been doing. Like, I've been trying to beat up superstars just for them to bleed, just to see how bad I can get them to bleed. Just makes I don't know. I've always just, like, I get, like, the blood, it is what it is, but it just makes the match, like, so much, like, feel real. Like, I think that's the biggest thing. It's like when you see these rivalries that, like, just feel real, it's like you really just, like, you know, like, you hate to love that person. Like, I love The Rock, but I hate The Rock for what The Rock's saying about Cody and his dog.
Oh, yeah.
Or the Rock concert. That shit was so funny. Like, I just don't understand, like, you know. The mom. I mean, I don't know what everybody's going on with all these moms. Christian's a menace. He wants to bang all the stepmoms in the world. Rock's trying to bang Cody. Like, what are we doing here? He a menace.
That's what I'm talking about with this match, though. When I was talking earlier, is so cool is there was a no blood policy, right? And Brett's like, fuck it. I'm a top guy. I'll take the heat. It's going to make the match better. It's going to get you over. It's going to be a visual.
Well, and that's the thing. Bro,
blood.
What is this, 23 years or 27 years later, and we're still seeing this in the promo video packages?
You probably can't see it because it's so far away, but the second picture down is Bret Hart in the sharpshooter, or Stone Cold the sharpshooter from this.
I can see it, yeah. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah. Above above the black and white one, right?
Yeah, that's from Hellraiser. So that is signed by Bret Hart. I got it when I met him at a meet and greet. I got him to sign it. Nice.
I've met Rob Van Dam when I was like 4 years old. My grandma brought me. Now that I think about it, I think it was like an independent show. And then I met Kurt Angle when he had hair. My mom brought me to like a book signing when that book came out with him. And I just recently met the Hardy Boys. But
all right,
those are the only four I've ever met. I try to go to all those things, but they expensive.
Bigley's got a point. Christian's being a great father figure. All these dudes out here who don't have dads, he's taking them under their wing, and so maybe he's got a little bit of big porn star energy, sleeping with their moms. It is what it is. Like, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. If you're going to be a father figure, you should get all the perks and benefits of being a father figure. No,
exactly. I mean, whatever happens, right? Oh my God. Now Ronda is coming out and talking about the Vince shenanigans. Oh, God.
Of course. How do you feel about Shayna doing the Bloodsport thing?
I mean, I just like that they're able to go off in different things and stuff like that. Like, that's why I said, like, even like them showing Buddy from AEW on that picture with Rhea. Just little stupid things like that, like, you know what I mean? Like, it just, I don't know. I enjoy it, though. I like that they're able to go and do different things and see different, because then it, like, gives me, like, a reason to watch that. Like, again, like, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't really watch that. Like, or, like, the TNA and stuff like that. Like, I would watch it more now that, like, Nick Nemeth, Ali, stuff like that. But, like, I said, I just can't keep up with it all. But that would give me the initiative to watch it just because I've been watching Dolph Ziggler since he was in the Spirit Squad. So,
yeah.
But
no, I think it's really cool, especially because if you're not going to book Shayna for WrestleMania, you get her out there WrestleMania weekend doing something.
Exactly. Just like the OC.
Really
just like, like the Alpha Academy, too. It looks like Otis and Tozawa might be competing at Stand and Deliver. So it's like, hey, they're doing something, Hey, it's nothing like WrestleMania, but hey, you're part of the weekend. And they've even said that in a bunch of the documentaries. It's like just being a part of the weekend in some way is huge. Because you don't know what's going to happen. Again, obviously, we are mad about things, but, And again, I keep saying it, too. This is the first year we don't have Vince. So I'm very interested to see, like, are we going to have a WrestleMania SmackDown? Are we going to have these stupid Battle Royals? Are we going to have, like, you know what I mean?
I think we're still getting the Dre on SmackDown, which I always thought was stupid. Like,
so dumb.
Doing it on SmackDown is dumb. Chris, I'm very sorry to hear that. Do not tell Christian that, though.
Yeah. Do not say that. Yeah, do not say that. I'm sorry, Chris. Christian, though, no. Christian is like, and that's the other thing. Like, Christian and Edge, Adam Copeland, like, that's one of the only reasons why, like, I will watch, like, sometimes AEW, because it's like I don't mind AEW, but there's just times where it just, like, like I find myself skipping more than actually watching it, to where like I feel like I'm just watching these old WWE guys, and I like a lot of the AEW originals, but there's just some of them I'm just like, these matches make no sense, and I just skip through it.
Well, and that's what I was getting at, right? Like I watch wrestling for the stories, right? And there is some storytelling. Like I like watching a lot of the women's matches in AEW, even though you only get one a show. But a lot of the storytelling, I'm not a dream match guy. I'm not, oh, this guy in Japan versus this guy here. Like that doesn't do it for me, right?
No.
It's the stories that they tell to get there. It's the drama. It's that. And AEW doesn't give me a lot of that. So I'm in the same boat as you. I watch because there are a lot of people that I support and I love that I saw in WWE that are now over here doing their thing. And I want to keep up with them and see what they're doing. And we do get some good shit. Like we get the stuff with Swerve and Samoa Joe and Hangman, the stuff MJF was doing. Like there's stuff that keeps me interested over there outside of just.
Oh, here it is. It's the moment. Yep. Man, the camera work of these people, insane. I also like.
There it is.
I also like that since like if you do play the game and you do beat the showcase, you get this attire of Ken Shamrock as the special guest referee. So he's not just coming out as like the regular referee. It's like his own attire that he came out in. And then you could like make it so you could have like Roman be in that attire, or like Cody or whoever you wanted. If you want to go in there and customize it, if you know.
Yeah.
So just little things like that.
And the reason this was so big for Stone Cold, by the way, Mercedes versus Sky Blue and Julia Hart all day. Give me that. I want it.
What, a triple threat?
No, just singles matches, triple threat, any of it.
Well, and that's
I love
the thing,
Julia Hart
like
and Sky Blue and what they're doing right now.
Like that was the thing before we say anything else. Like that was the thing I said about Mercedes on my Road to WrestleMania episode yesterday. It's like the fact that she gets to go and face Britt Baker. She gets to go face Tay Mello, Chris Statlander, Julia, Sky. Like, these are matches we would have never seen. Yes, I'd love for her to be back in WWE, but what are we going to do? Watch her face somebody that we've seen her face a million times? So now all these new opponents, and again, we're probably going to be seeing the CEO against the DMD. So it's like just stuff like that it's just like, you don't have to like AEW, but like if you love Mercedes and you've been watching her, go and watch it. Like, that's why I always tell people to watch NXT, because people all of a sudden know who Tiffany, LA Knight, this person, that person is. But then you don't realize like what they did on NXT. Like, people don't even know that Becky Lynch won the title from Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, you know who Tiffany is now, but if you would go and see what she did. Or I always bring up LA Knight. Like, people forget he was the $1 million champion. He was Cameron Grimes' butler. Or Cameron Grimes was his butler.
I think we can forget that. I think that's okay to forget.
I mean, you know, but it is. But like, I just
for
like,
the kids watching who have no context, the reason why I said this is what got Stone Cold over, the whole point of this was to show how tough Stone Cold was.
Yeah, because he never gave up.
He never gave up. He passed out because he refused to tap to the sharpshooter.
What a great match. I will say this, the one thing about this match I was very shocked about is how short it was. Like, not even short, but I thought this was like a 30-minute match, and it very well might have been, but like, I don't know, it didn't feel like it. Let me see how long this one was exactly. It was 22 minutes. Okay. So it was pretty long. Okay. I thought it was a little bit shorter, but no.
It doesn't feel it though, right?
No, it doesn't. Like, and that's the thing about like matches like this. Like, this is a match, like how I was telling you, like for years, I would just go watch like the TLC and the Fatal 4-Way. These are the matches where like I'd go back and rewatch just like this one match. Because again, like that's the thing, like watching a lot of these, it's like there's a lot of good matches, but like I feel like if you watch it once, like you're really not missing much. But like matches like this are so good that you can like, you know, like I can't tell you how many times I've watched John Cena against Triple H or John Cena against JBL just because it's his first few, or John Cena and Shawn Michaels at 23. I think I've seen that like 100 kajillion times. But I mean, like that WrestleMania 23 is a great example. There's really not too many good matches besides like that match, Undertaker and Batista, and then the Battle of the Billionaires. I feel like are like the three, and then I guess Money in the Bank.
Yeah,
but,
it's also crazy to me that Ken Shamrock never won that title. Like we talked about, you know, people getting to a certain spot like Goldust and all that, never like getting a WWF championship despite what his family means to wrestling. Ken Shamrock only ever won the IC title, and with this moment here and a lot of the stuff he did, like it's weird to me that he never really transcended past that mid-card status.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
But I do see you got that little ticker at the bottom that tells us what the next match is, which is cool as shit. It's also the perfect time as we're setting up for this for me to run and take a quick bathroom break. So I'll be right back.
Okay. Hey, look at that. That works. Yeah, go ahead. We will bring him right back when he comes back. So how we doing, guys? We got 88 people in the house right now. Oh my goodness. You guys are all the goats in the house. And while we actually do that, I am going to take a quick bathroom break myself. So don't go nowhere, guys. I will be right back after this. So listen to some music. We're going to get ready for this match. And then we'll be back here to finish off the Nation of Domination, that match. And then we will be watching the main event as Psycho Sid and The Undertaker. So don't go nowhere, and we'll be right back after this break.
There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. And damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight, don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase, so catch me if I fall. Praying that this night's gonna last. You got it all on tap, I'm loving your vibe, always have your back. We like all the same tracks, listen all night in the sheets all black. Said I'm falling fast, don't remember life before you, that's fact. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight, don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase, so catch me if I fall. There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. And damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight, don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase, so catch me if I fall.
And we back. As soon as you said that, I had to go to the bathroom too.
See, it worked out perfect. Did you pause it or did you just let it run?
No, I just let it run.
Me too. Okay, so we're Nation Domination's coming in.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I just let it run because it's all like the little promos and stuff and all that nonsense.
Yeah. That's all we missed was Farouk talking shit, but I will tell you this. This guy right here.
What's up? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come here. Hi.
JC Ice and Wolfie D were fucking terrible. And they're
So
the two white dudes in big baggy Nation of Domination jackets.
So
They
is
had
this,
a
like,
rap.
is this
they had a
before it
rap
became
gimmick.
like as popular as it did, or is this after?
Yeah, so early Nation wasn't what like you think of with The Rock, Mark Henry, D'Lo Brown, and The Godfather, right? Like you had Savio Vega in there, you had Crush, who was
Bro,
Hawaiian.
PlayStation is the sponsor. Shut up.
Mhm.
PlayStation 1. PlayStation 1, guys, not number 5. PlayStation 1. Man,
I had one.
That was the system. Man, I love PlayStation. PlayStation 2.
Talking about Chicago, though, Chicago's hometown boys,
Cool.
Legion of Doom.
Ah, true. Did not know that. There's so many shows that were in Chicago, and there's so many people that live in Chicago or that are from Chicago that I never knew about. I'm just like, it's crazy.
Lex Luger used to be billed from Chicago too. I don't know for a fact that he actually was, but he was billed from Chicago. And all that matters is kayfabe. So Lex Luger's from Chicago.
Oh, shoot. The Legion of Doom. Oh, yeah. The
You
Legion.
said you love hardcore matches, dude. This is gonna get hardcore.
Is it hardcore?
No disqualification. I mean, they got 2x4s, kitchen sinks, all sorts of shit.
So great.
I have lost a lot of wrestling respect for Crush. Watching him in the NWO as Brian Adams, it's rough for me. His promos are bad. Like, it's rough. 8-Ball and MJG.
Caution an 8-ball.
Same thing with Ahmed Johnson's another one. Beautiful, beautiful, big, sweaty man. Never hit the main event, which was crazy because he had his feud with Farouk. He had his feud with the Nation. He was kind of right on the cusp of getting to that main event, but never really made it into that
The main
next
event?
stratosphere. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Sweaty, sweaty man, though.
He said sweaty man.
Oh, you'll see, dude. He sweats like a motherfucker. He glistens. And the Pearl River Plunge, his finisher, is a really cool finish.
Is this like a hardcore 6-man tag or something like that? I think I said that.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, 6. Yeah, Chicago Street Fight. Okay, that's right.
Yep.
Did you notice how too they promoted WrestleMania 14 or 14 for next year in that little package thing? It's crazy
Yep.
they've been doing it for that long. That's always like one of my exciting things. I'm like, I just want to know where next year's going to be, and like when they show it, it's just so great. It's also funny too where they think that they can try to fool us, where they edited it out for the COVID one to act like that's where it was always going to be. Don't fool me.
Yeah.
I know you had a different logo. I remember
We knew
watching
what it was
that
supposed to
WrestleMania.
be.
I know what it was. Don't lie to me. Fucking guys. That's what I mean. Like, it sucks that, like, everything is, like, edited, and I get it because, obviously, of some reasons, but it just, like, you're, like, changing, like, what we remember. It's like, what? That's why I always say it's, like, with, like, the Vince thing, it's, like, we all have been so, like, like brainwashed about how Vince is,
Oh,
like,
that was
oh, the pile driver?
yeah, it was shitty.
Yeah, that don't look, yeah, ow. Ow. That looks like it looks like Vince taking the stunner. Jeez.
He said Ahmed was bad at politicking. He always got in trouble. All right. Also, Stone Cold's blood just all over the ring. Still.
Yeah, they didn't change the mats too. Like they do now. They change the mats after every everything.
Well, they weren't as health conscious back in 1997 as they are now, you know?
Well, yeah.
There's so much going on, they can barely keep up with it.
We got the fire extinguisher, though. I really hope this guy can find whatever the hell he was looking for. I don't know where it's at. I told him my house eats shit, bro. It's so bad.
What is he looking for?
You know.
I don't know, but I'm curious as to how you're going to describe it because you don't want to say it. So.
Yeah, no, I don't want to.
I got my interest.
It's I'm trying to think of another word for it. It's a pen.
Okay, I'm with you now.
Yeah, it's a pen. There we go. That's the best way I can say it.
My wife loses hers all the time, so.
Yeah. So,
with the monitors too.
We like I said, we stayed up till 4 o'clock watching that Nickelodeon
Those
documentary,
coins?
and yeah. Oh shoot!
No, I think
Damn.
that was gold shit from Gold Dust.
Oh my God, that looks like the stuff that LeBron does when he does his little thing up in the air. Celeste, oh my God, they're just gonna bring in everybody for WrestleMania 40. Speaking of that, though, who do you think inducts Paul Heyman? I think it's the Dudley Boys.
Dudley Boys would be good. I honestly, because he is the advocate or the special counsel, I would love the idea of Paul staying in character and being like, Roman's my guy, so only Roman can induct me because that's where my loyalty lies, sort of thing. Like,
bro, that I don't think that smoke is healthy.
Oh, it's not at all.
That's crazy. Well, no, and that would be really cool.
And then Roman like not doing a great job because Roman's selfish as shit or like putting it off on someone else. But Stone Cold as well. Stone Cold and Paul go way back. When he left WCW, he had a run in ECW, so they had that. Then everything that they did through like the Invasion angle in 2001, where he joined the alliance with Paul Heyman and Shane and Stephanie and all that. And I'd like to see Stone Cold induct him too.
Be really interested. That Roman thing would be really interesting to see because then you could, if they stayed in character, you could totally cut a promo. And again, we saw it with Dominic last year. Dominic stayed in character and walked out of his own Dance of Hall of Fame speech.
Exactly what I'm saying.
Bro, Cage, I literally am traumatized, bro. I feel like I cannot watch any of those shows ever again. It gives me so much. I was literally shaking watching it because I'm like, this is literally what I've watched my entire life. Like I said, I still watched them, and it just like the fact that that's what was, and it's like all of the stuff that I was watching. If you think about it, all the weird stuff that they did, like it was like there was one part in the documentary from a Zoe 101 part that they like that they like she ripped something off and she squirted it in Zoe's face, and they go, "Oh my God, that was a cum shot." I'm like, "Oh my God," I'm like, "This is awful." Like this is and it's just like the way it looks, it does. It's just like, oh my God.
I was I heard cum shot and it
that's what got your attention.
I'm the number one wrestling podcast on Pornhub. Of course, cum shot got my attention. Say that part again.
I said for like he said that's what I got. So there was a part in Zoe 101 where one of the girls, she was trying to rip off something. And when she ripped it off, she squirted it in Zoe's face, and they made it out to be like it was that.
Okay,
so it was like, oh my God, and it was like little things like that. Like, and I just, like I said, rewatched these, and it just like, oh my, it's like it gives me a whole different perspective of the way things happen. And it's just like they're absolutely right. It's just like it's like at that time, like I thought that was just funny, but now it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So It's not fun. I just, oh my god. I would definitely, if you guys are a Nickelodeon fan, though, I would definitely watch it. It is good. It is something like, you do learn a lot, but it is very disturbing, and it is very, like, it does kind of ruin your childhood a little. But it is a good documentary. I will give it that. And it's good to know that, and it all makes sense. Like I was telling you about connecting the dots. It all makes sense of why, like we said, like these poor kids went through what they went through, like Jamie or Amanda or all of them that went through these awful things, that it all just makes sense. Why? Because then apparently the dude that did what he did to Drake Bell worked on Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and Sweet Life on Deck. So like it goes into Disney too. So it just, yeah.
To answer Daz's question, I think Edge's first WrestleMania is WrestleMania 2000. So that would be 16.
Yeah.
But they didn't call it 16.
Yeah, it was, because it was, I just watched it. They said that was the first ever WrestleMania for all of them.
Yeah.
So
Edge, Christian, the Hardys, and the Dudleys.
Man, it makes me so mad. We finally get the Dudleys in a video game, and then the Hardy Boys and Edge and Christian aren't in it. We get the Hardy Boys in the video game, and then the Dudley Boys aren't in it. Or I'm just like, can we just get them all? Like, I understand whatever, but like, it's just like, I wish there was a way to have these legends so you could still like have them in these things, even if they're in a different company, even if it's like 2006 Edge, like the Edge and the Christian that like you could use. I don't know. It just, I get it, but it just makes me mad.
Yeah.
But I'd love to recreate that ladder match.
But like you said, you got people now in the community that are creating exact replicas, so you can still download.
It's crazy.
The music and the entrances might not be exactly there. They do.
I mean, I skip the end. That's why I understand. People make the comments about the entrances, but half the time I don't even watch the entrances.
Really?
I mean, I do, but like after a certain point, I mean, like how many times am I going to watch Roman Reigns in the same? You know what I mean? Like I like the first times I like I'll watch him when I'm playing it, like for the first like the first couple months. But then at one point, it's just like, you know what I mean? Like they don't really change the entrances. So
I was explaining that to Tino before the show started as we were getting ready, that my Nickelodeon was very different than his Nickelodeon, you know?
I mean, and that's the thing. Like my cousins were like watching, like I remember watching the Amanda Bynes show. I remember watching all that. I remember watching Good Burger, except I didn't know it was Good Burger. I just thought it was some dudes working at a restaurant. And then I just recently went back and watched the movie when the new one came out. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, this is what I was watching. 16 was his first match. Well, actually, his first appearance was in Toronto at WrestleMania when he was in attendance. Yeah. Well, yeah, he did appear at WrestleMania 15, I think. Well, I guess, Cage said he did. So I believe Cage.
This whole match was a clusterfuck.
Yeah, it really was. It really seems like it was just. It was.
You ever been to an orgy, Tino?
Huh?
You ever been to an orgy before? Because that's what this match was. There's just so much going on. Everyone's with everyone. It was hard to focus on what was going on.
I can barely talk to one girl at a time. Like you, bro, it's good. And again, half the time I talk to a girl, then it's like, oh, I want to talk to you, and then a week later they stop talking to you because they find somebody better.
Well, that's the great thing about an orgy, though, right? Is you got so many opportunities. It's not just focusing on one, and there's not a whole lot of talking going on. You just got to kind of be there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Not that I've ever been to an orgy.
Oh, sure. Doubt it. You probably have. You're probably the master of them.
You sure you want to stay at my house if WrestleMania ever comes to Chicago again?
Maybe not. Shit, I might be moving in with you in June. I don't want to leave Chicago, so I might be coming to you.
I'll ask my wife after the show, see if she's okay with that.
Me and Matt, guys, I'm gonna be a background guest. I'm just gonna sit behind Matt every episode now and just wave.
Ahmed's got a whole ass cheek hanging out, doesn't even care.
Man, the wild things that they did.
Wild Crazy Kids, Hey Dude, What Would You Do? Guts, Double Dare, Family Double Dare.
Crazy times, man.
Legends of the Hidden Temple. But then I also I had the cartoons, so we had Cat Dog, we had Real Monsters, we had
those were so good.
Rocko's Modern Life.
Yeah, I remember most of those too, and it's so funny because there's times shows will come up, and I'm like, I never knew what the name was, and I'm like, oh my god. But
Rugrats.
the
Huge.
Rugrats. The Rugrats Go to Paris is the best movie ever made. In Your House, we going in your house, guys, for the next pay-per-view in 1997. But it's time for the main event of WrestleMania 13, as it is Psycho Sid as he takes on the one and the only, the dead man, Mr. Undertaker, as he tries to continue his streak and scare us little children. Bro, I was scared of... Did I ever tell you the story what happened to me at WrestleMania 22?
No.
So in Chicago, you know, fun facts, it was in Chicago. We all know this. Well, I was deathly afraid of The Undertaker because I am afraid of, and I was a big baby. So Undertaker faced Mark Henry in a casket match. So my neighbor thought it would be a great idea as a 10-year-old to come over to my house and start knocking on the door, flickering the lights on and off. It's lightning and thundering outside, and this man's telling me Undertaker's going to come over to my house once the casket match is over. So after the casket match was over with The Undertaker, my neighbor said, oh, I'm going to go home and go bye-bye. Instead, he walks out my back door, he goes to the front door and rings the doorbell. Bro, I thought Undertaker was at my house. I thought Undertaker was coming to get me. I thought I was going in a casket.
Well, you're talking casket match, right? You said you're a collector, so I got a couple things to show you.
Oh, what do you got?
Again, I'm a huge Undertaker fan, right? So
You got the casket?
Speaking of WrestleMania 30, I got the WrestleMania 30 Undertaker.
Is that the one with the white or the purple packaging?
No, I don't think it had purple packaging. But
see, oh, you got the old style one. Okay.
WrestleMania 15, casket, grapple gear.
Wait.
So my wife's best friend.
Wait. So who does he face in a casket match at 15?
He doesn't. I don't think it was a casket match, but on the back I think it came out around that time. I actually have the Undertaker and Kane that are in the picture on the back too.
Oh,
somewhere.
okay. Somewhere.
My daughter's got them somewhere. I gave those to her because they were the old ones.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it's labeled WrestleMania 15, Jack's Pacific, the casket. My wife's best friend every year for Christmas goes and finds some like vintage wrestling shit at a vintage store, toys and shit, buys it for me, and I get that for Christmas. So this year, I got this version of The Rock. Drafts, SmackDown.
I think I actually had that figure at one point.
So
that's so crazy. Like I used to have like 4 to 5 Tupperwares full of stuff. It makes me so mad because I just did so much stuff that like my dumb ass thought it'd be a good idea to sell it, and it just so very mad at myself because I would have so many more vintage old Jacks and everything that I'm just so mad I don't have anymore.
It's also really crazy that Shawn Michaels did not have a match on WrestleMania this year. I think this was after he hurt his back on the casket match.
So was this just? So is this like an Andre the Giant thing where he just comes out and walks around and then he leaves, or does he like talk?
I think he's going to be on commentary for the match.
Oh, okay.
Because I think he is feuding with the Undertaker.
Isn't that crazy to think about? It's like we were talking about WrestleMania 25. It's like in a way it kind of started 12 years before when they were feuding and he was commentating. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
well, the back injury that Shawn Michaels suffers is in a casket match with the Undertaker. He gets thrown over the top rope. He hits his back on the edge of the casket, right?
Oh, yeah.
Kane debuts in a Hell in a Cell match next year in 1998 against Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. Like, this feud spanned decades.
And then the Royal Rumble 2007 and 8. Like, the fact they ended it and started it, and it was still a year before the match even became official.
Yep.
Oh, look, it's the biggest fan, the dude that's been what's his name? Oh, I keep forgetting his name. They just did the documentary on him. I can't. Vladimir? Is it Vladimir? No.
Undertaker faced Bossman in a Hell in a Cell it wasn't a Hell in a Cell, but it was kind of a Hell in a Cell.
Didn't he like hang him?
Yeah.
I'm very interested to see that. Okay. Is this Psycho Sid's like last WrestleMania too? Like, I feel like he didn't last that long, or was he here longer?
I I don't think he was at WrestleMania. I know he hasn't shown up in WCW, and I'm into 1998, but I know he gets there eventually. So I don't know if he was at WrestleMania 14 for a match, but I think by 15 he's in WCW.
Gotcha. Okay. It's also
He
weird.
breaks his leg in WCW.
That's right. Okay. I remember watching. Okay, that's right. I remember watching that WCW documentary. They were talking about that. It's
Every
also
year for
weird not to
WrestleMania.
see Hulk Hogan. I got so used to seeing Hulk Hogan every year that now it's
I'm
just weird not-
perfectly okay with that. Fuck Hulk Hogan.
No, I know now, but like
Every year for WrestleMania, when The Undertaker would come out, I used to get on one knee, and during his whole entrance, I would sit there and I'd do the Undertaker pose.
no, man, scares that man when those lights, like even like watching this sometimes, like obviously I'm older now, but like even like if I'm watching it sometimes at night, it still kind of freaks me out because it's just like, oh my God, like just like how like they really made him feel like he was just like this darkness character that was just like it's so crazy.
Okay, so Shawn lost his smile before 13. He doesn't hurt his back until right before 14.
What do you mean lost his smile? Like he's a heel?
No. So you don't remember the famous Shawn Michaels lost his smile promo? He was feuding with Brett, and it's basically like he didn't have Brood have Taker the Brood give Taker the news. Where he's kind of lost. He lost the title and he kind of lost his love for wrestling and he took a little bit of time off.
Okay. I'm trying to think. I feel like if I went back and watched it, I probably have. I just do not remember. But yeah, no, I see you. Okay. Oh damn!
Yeah,
Damn, this match went 20 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering.
We're still only a few months away from the Montreal Screwjob at the end of Bret Hart and WWF. Like that's Survivor Series this year.
Oh, 98 or 97.
Yeah.
His entrance is just so good.
Best
It
of
also
all time.
takes forever though.
I will say the suit, the tie version of the Undertaker, not necessarily my favorite. What we get to right after this, once we get into the Attitude Era, that the stuff he was wearing feuding with Kane and then the Ministry stuff, I think is some of my favorite Undertaker gear. I do like the teardrop though, but yeah, no, like the gray over the boots.
Are you gonna get a teardrop tattoo?
Huh?
I said you're gonna take a you can get a teardrop tattoo.
Unfortunately, no. I don't have anything under my belt to qualify. So
my dad, it's so funny. The teardrop.
I dig holes, but I haven't buried any souls.
Oh goodness. Taking soul, digging holes and taking souls. Fans on hand, everybody. A lot of fans.
Yeah, not my favorite Undertaker gear.
No. Okay, so now they're starting to talk about the streak. I was wondering how long it waited until it started. Seems like this is when they start talking about it. Walk on the dark side. HBK refused to wrestle Brett at 13. That's why he wrestled. Oh, okay. That's interesting. I didn't know that one.
Which was the best thing that could have happened for Stone Cold and for WWF at that point because of what's
everything always happens for a reason. I always say that, man. You know, like injury.
I think this is the first time of only a handful that Undertaker actually won the title at WrestleMania.
And I think it's only the second time he's won the world title in the main event because I think the only other time he did it was against Edge at 24.
I think so.
Because the only other two main events he had was against Shawn and then Roman. Yeah. Because I know he won the title at 23, but that wasn't the main event. The main event was Michaels and Cena.
Yeah.
Psycho Sid. So who would you compare Psycho Sid to, like, right now? Like, who would be Psycho Sid, like, nowadays? He kind of looks like, I don't know, like, just the way he looks right now, he looks like an angrier Von Wagner.
I was gonna say Von Wagner, but Von Wagner's done the whole like good guy.
I know.
I was abused as a child because I had a deformed skull thing. So I'd say Von Wagner prior to the babyface turn would probably be the best comparison.
Because was this like Sid's biggest run right now? Like what's going on like right now?
In WWF, yeah, he won the WCW World Heavyweight title and had a run in WCW as champion too.
Oh, Sid. Like that's the other thing too. I think people also forget that like Twitter wasn't around, so it's like you don't have like all these idiots going on Twitter being like, "Oh my god, this Undertaker tire sucks," you know.
I actually talked about this with someone last night. Yes and no. It wasn't as widespread and easily as accessible, but you still had America Online in chat rooms, and all that negativity and bullshit happened in the chat rooms back then.
Wait, what is it?
America Online was the internet. Like a lot of people used AOL, America Online to get on the internet. It was dial up, and then they had chat rooms, and you go into chat rooms. I
remember like AOL and stuff, but I was like, okay. I used to go into the chat rooms. You ever use AIM?
He said Sid and Karrion Kross. Yeah, AIM. AOL Instant Messenger.
I mean, honestly, that's not wrong. And speaking of Bret Hart, here comes Bret Hart for some reason. Why is he coming out right now?
You're gonna see.
Okay. I guess I have to wait and see, guys. I'm in this match. It's a triple threat. Look at the blood still just smeared. He said, I don't care. He said, you pussy front injury. I love it. Oh, my God. Damn. He said, I'm so scared. He's like wearing like white makeup or something, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We got 23 likes. We got 93 people in here right now. So if you're watching on X, Twitter, YouTube, wherever you're watching, guys, thank you all coming and hanging out all morning. Almost 1 o'clock. What time you got to go to work? You said 1:30?
Yeah, it should be over by 1, and at that point I'll be out.
Okay, well that works. I just want to make sure I don't want you to be late.
No, dude. I got to get ready, pack a lunch and stuff. But yeah, I leave for work about 1:30, 1:35. So we got time.
Oh, okay.
And the power bomb. No, so basically Bret Hart came out because, as Bakley said, Shawn Michaels said, I injured my foot. I can't wrestle. And Bret's calling bullshit, right? He's like, you don't really have an injured foot. You were just afraid to fight me. On top of that, Undertaker slammed a door on his head, and he's like, fuck you, that's the end of our friendship, this and that. And Sid's holding the belt that, according to Bret, should be his. So that's why he's out here. He's just taking shots, and then took a powerbomb.
Psycho Sid. He said, get the hell out of here. Man, look at how young these referees look. I think I actually have this Undertaker figure also.
Yeah?
Funny as hell. Like I said, as I've been watching these, I've been figuring out where all my figures are from, and I'm like, okay. Sure. Just had no idea. Kick to the face. What other Mania did Sid main event? Is it 11, 12? I forget.
You just watched, so you know better than me.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like I watch these and then like it's like I forget. Like I think I'm
Because Sid was Shawn Michaels' bodyguard for a bit.
That's right. Okay, yeah.
And then they had a falling out just like Shawn and Diesel had a falling out when Diesel was Shawn's bodyguard.
And then we had fake Diesel.
Yeah.
I can't believe that was Kane. That's so funny.
Well, before that, he was Dr. Isaac Yankem.
Who could forget about Dr. Isaac Yankem? If you don't know. So what did we call it before we called it old school? Is it just new school, that move?
I don't know that they actually had a name for it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think they just called it Undertaker's signature move.
I really hope this guy found his pen, because if he didn't, he's going to come down here and start yelling at me again. I didn't lose it. He wants to beat me up sometimes. It's not nice. He speared me yesterday while I was doing my show. I'm like, bro, like I can't even finish my show, and he's trying to be Roman Reigns.
I feel like it's an abusive relationship.
Oh yeah.
And maybe you shouldn't hug him now.
Yeah,
now that I'm hearing this.
No, I've been friends with him since 3rd grade. So like, yeah.
See, that's me and Travis. Me and Travis have known each other since 3rd grade. But he moved to fucking, he's in Atlanta now, but he moved to Florida and then Texas and now Atlanta. So I don't have to worry about him trying to come in and spear me during a show.
There's a couple of the YouTubers I mess with. I'm like, guys, I have a friend that works at Southwest. So I'm like, guys, I'm just going to call my friend. I'm going to get a flight like Leo. I don't know if you know who Leo is, kicking it with Leo. I told him, I'm going to come to your house in Dallas. I'm going to spear you and take your IC title, because he's got like the white one that he carries around like he's a champion. I'm like, bro, I'm just going to come to your house and spear you.
We tried to get Katie to go interrupt Vince during one of our shows. She was out here visiting in Chicago, so she wasn't on the show because she didn't bring her podcasting stuff. So she was in the hotel watching, and Vince was talking shit. And I'm like, dude, I will get you Vince's address. Go over there. And before the show is over, just break into his house and super kick the shit out of him, please.
Oh, my God. But that me and my friends used to be really close like that. Like there'd be one times like, because like we lived on like a street, but like everybody kind of like knew each other. And then like there was like, if you walk through a little bit of the woods, there was like another street, and we had a bunch of other people. So there'd be people just coming out, over, in, like in and out. And there'd be times like my friends would just walk in the house, or like Alex would come over and he would just like walk in, and I'm just like, he's just like, what's up? Like, okay. Like, sure.
Party house.
Yeah. Although that's exactly what my house was, bro. I figured out so many weird things, or well, not weird things, but things that make sense about all the stuff that happened when I was like a kid. Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, cause like my house was that party house. Like we had a game room. We had like, we had horseshoes. We had a ping pong. We had a pool table. We had bean bags. We had a pool, a hot tub, an arcade. It was insane. So
I'm watching this match, and I see Sid keep going in for the hug and Undertaker keep hitting him and fighting him off. And I feel like that's what would have happened if I could have gotten you to hug your roommate.
Oh, yeah, no, he would
going in for the hug. Just
yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially if he hasn't found his pen yet. Yeah.
How's he going to sign any documents without his pen? It's very important.
I don't know.
Everyone has a favorite pen, right?
So, yeah, I know. I just don't know where it went. And I don't know. Like I said, my house eats shit.
Did you check your pockets?
That's what I told him. Like I said, the problem was that we were up until 4 o'clock, so it could be anywhere. Honestly, I'm surprised I got up. I was worried I was gonna sleep through. I'm gonna wake up at 11, and Matt's gonna be sitting here in the stream waiting for me.
Bakley did offer to pay for Katie Zuber to go over to Vince's house and super kick her.
I mean, hey, whatever works, right? Man, that would be so funny. Like, that's kind of like what I want to do with somebody one time. Like, I want to like do like a live show, but I want to act like we're in different rooms. Then all of a sudden, like, have like somebody like walk next to me and be like, "No, we're like next," like, you know, like blended in.
That happened with Will and Allison, where they were doing it where they were like in separate rooms and separate houses, and then Will said something and Allison threw something at him, so you saw it go from her screen into his, and there went the whole veil. Like, then we knew that they were in the same room.
You'll love it, man. I love Will. I miss Will. He just reminds me of MJF. him and his damn scarf. Psycho Sid. It's all about that psycho.
This is one of the favorite positions I get my wife in at night.
It's not PG.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this a PG show? You should have told me that before I came on.
I mean, kinda, not really, because if you watch me play video games, then not really. But I mean,
I say we've sworn a lot. You said cum shot. I just assumed we were good.
I mean, see, I try not to say it, but like I try to so. But yeah, whatever. Don't yell at me.
We were talking about orgies earlier.
I hope I don't get yelled at by YouTube.
I've never gotten yelled at by YouTube, and trust me, my show is far less rated.
Oh, I know.
PG than
I know, and that's the thing. Like, I listen to other podcasters, and like, there's a few of them, bro, that like just swear up and down, left and right, and it's just like, and they got like 2 million subscribers or more, and it just like,
We should have probably let the kids know while they're at school that with me being on the show, this is not a very kid-friendly episode. We probably should have had a disclaimer.
Jadis is the only one, so we're good. As long as Jadis
I have a disclaimer before my show. The following podcast contains mature content. The views and opinions expressed by the co-hosts are not necessarily those of the host. Listener discretion is advised. Just to let people know, we might say some shit.
Yeah. Man, I wish there was a way I could show it on here, because it would just be so much easier if we could watch it on another screen on the stream. But
I know.
Gotta love it. 1, 2, kick out. 1, 2, kick out. Also, kind of cool to know that Undertaker's first main event WrestleMania was in Chicago.
Yep.
I don't know. These Chicago shows just always again, it's obviously because we're from Chicago, but I don't know. It's just like I like them a little bit more.
So let me ask you this: watching this, being at the main event, we talked about CPN earlier, cost per nut. How are you feeling about the CPN for this show? Like, do you feel like you're getting the value of a WrestleMania for the matches that you got?
I mean, yes and no, but I also feel like this is where it's like we see it a lot, like where we saw like the gimmick battle royal at WrestleMania, was it 17 or 18? Where it's 17. Like I feel like that's kind of like what like the Chicago street fight was. Like I feel like we see similarities in it with like just different superstars, or like, you know what I mean? But like I think obviously because this one's from Chicago, I might like it a little bit more. But I mean, in reality, I mean, like the only matches I probably ever go back and watch on this one is the Bret Hart and Stone Cold.
Yeah.
So it's like it's close.
Not Rikishi versus The Rock, now that you know that it's Rikishi?
I mean, maybe, And that's the thing. It's like, I know I'm going to be that person that when I have a kid, I'm going to make them rewatch them all. So I'll just be rewatching them again. And it's just like, I mean, it's like the more and more I watch it, there's even stuff I learned from like WrestleMania, like 22 and stuff that I've watched a million times that I learn. And I'm like, oh my God. So
I'm working
I think it is definitely worth it, but I just don't think I don't think any pay-per-view was worth $40, $50 at the time, because they all ended a certain way, and it's not we never really got clean finishes. Like I remember so many pay-per-views watching, and then it'd be a DQ, and I'm like, this is lame.
But the point of that was they wanted you to tune into Raw to get the fallout, right?
I know, but at the time,
pay-per-view ended that way. You're like, what happened? Now I got to go tune into Raw and find out.
Man,
WCW did something opposite, where WCW would give away all the big matches on Nitro so they could get the ratings and the sponsorships and things like that. And then the pay-per-views wouldn't. Like, I just watched Hog Wild 1998. That pay-per-view was ass.
Yeah.
The main event was Diamond Dallas Page and Jay Leno versus Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan.
Jay Leno.
Sturgis.
I'm dead. He said Jay Leno.
But yeah, this is pretty much a one, maybe two match show. Like I said, I remember this match, and it has been decent so far. I remember it being decent, but really the only match that stands out is Bret Hart, Stone Cold from this WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And
I mean, like I guess, like, well, and that's the thing. I mean, like, it's like in reality, like that's like I mean, like maybe I'd watch like the Triple H and Goldust, maybe, but like it's just not like that. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. It's like I'm watching these, but I'll probably never watch it in full unless I have like kids or whatever. I'd probably just go back and like watch just like Brett and Shawn or like the Macho and Hogan or Savage and Hogan or Ricky the Dragon and like those like or like Andre and Hogan. So it's just like
I'm gonna go back to the Chicago Street Fight just so I can get a nice look at Ahmed Johnson's ass cheek again.
I mean, if that's what you like, that's what you like. Good, go for it, bro. I mean, hey now, all you money. It's all you. Take your shot. Shoot your shot.
I don't think Ahmed Johnson's ass is as nice in 2024 as it was in 1997. I don't think it's worth shooting my shot now.
Is Ahmad Johnson still alive?
That's a good question. Let's find out.
There's so many people I've looked up while watching these that I didn't realize that weren't here no more, and it's so sad. I'm just like, damn. I think that's probably been the biggest thing I've hated about watching all of these is just seeing how like most of them are not here anymore. Like Savage, Warrior, other people. Like it just like or like as I'm watching these, I'm seeing these guys going to the Hall of Fame as I'm watching like the newer ones and like the early like 2000s, late 2000s. Bayley's gonna win the title at WrestleMania 40. I've told you this like a million times, Chris. Bayley's gonna win.
Just because I know he's a big Bayley fan, I want to say Io Sky just to fuck with him, but no.
Hey, why are you trying to cause problems? Then he's gonna come in here tomorrow and yell at me. And
that's what I'm here for. I'm here to cause problems for you, so I can leave, and then you got to deal with it.
But like, why, man? We're trying to make this easier.
Listen. It's all about engagement. That's how you boost the algorithm and find new listeners. I'm here to get you more engagement. I get everyone mad at you, then they come back and they yell at you for having me on. But that's more people in here talking shit.
You know what? That's true. You know, that's very true.
So Io Sky's gonna win.
Probably.
Ahmed's still alive. He's 60 right now.
Oh shoot. Matt likely big. He likes his big meaty Matt.
I do, dude. I love my men big and beefy like me.
I'm done.
Love a beefcake.
So were you upset that AEW didn't do that big meaty men invitational?
Yeah. Though, to be honest, AEW doesn't really, or WWE was, I was hoping we were going to get that for WrestleMania. You know, your Bronson Reeds, your Indus Shears, your AOPs, Bobby Lashley, Otis, so on and so forth. But AEW doesn't have a lot of big meaty men, to be honest with you. Like, yeah, you got your Samoa Joes and your Keith Lees and I guess Big Bill and Powerhouse Hobbs, but like not a lot of dudes, not a lot of meat over there in AEW.
No. This match hasn't been bad, but I don't know. This is the main event, like very like is interesting to me. Like I get it's for the title, but like I just feel like this would not be like if it was a few years later, I feel like this would be like a middle match.
There's no way Io Sky beats Bayley at WrestleMania 40.
I mean, after last year, Chris, anything's possible, bro. Earl Hebner. Earl was around forever.
Yeah, him and his brother.
Oh, it's Mike Chioda is always the one I always think about, and it's crazy that like the fact that they like blurred him out of the showcase is like insane. Like he was there for so long, and then because he's not, it just like even like JB Noble and like Joey Mercury, like they also blurred them out for the Seth and Randy match at 31, and it was just like I don't know.
I was there in Chicago at the Allstate Arena when J&J Security got their car and Brock showed up and ripped the door and threw it into the crowd and wrecked it. Do you remember that?
Which one?
J&J Security for Seth Rollins, Jamie Noble, and they got a car. Seth bought him a car, and it had like the camo in it, and Brock showed up and ripped the door off the car and whipped it into the crowd.
Oh yeah.
I was at that Raw.
Oh, fun, bro. You go to all the good stuff. See, like that's the one thing I'm very upset about because there's so many Raws, SmackDowns that were in Chicago, and as I'm watching these old stuff, they're like live from the Allstate Arena in Chicago, Illinois, and it's like 2013. I'm like, God dang, I did. Like I never started going until my first event was the Survivor Series before COVID. Was the first ever one I went to with NXT.
Okay.
So that was like the first thing I went that whole weekend. And then ever since then, this will be the first show I miss this Monday that's been in Chicago ever since then. I've been really trying to go to every one, but I just had to replace my car and I have to focus on priorities. So it's like, we'll just watch it live here.
A place to live.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah,
that's kind of.
They're not going to let you live at the Allstate Arena.
No, they ain't. I would love to. It would be great, but yeah, no, they won't let me do that. So.
No, my first show was 2004. It was a SmackDown, and Undertaker and John Cena main evented that SmackDown in 04.
Man, that's beautiful. Oh shit! Like this Undertaker, I don't know. He just scared the hell out of me. Like even like right now, like I know it's Mark, I know the Undertaker, I know everything, but he's still kind of freaky. Did you see that? Did you see Undertaker did a podcast with the dude from WrestleMania 30? That had the face, like the infamous face.
No, I didn't see that.
Apparently, he just had him on his podcast. I'm like,
really?
I'm like, what world are we living in that Undertaker's doing podcasts and Triple H is running WWE?
Well, I was going to say I've seen a bunch of clips from his show with him and Michelle McCool, where Michelle McCool's like, "Yeah, this story that he's been telling about us getting together isn't true. This is how we really got together." Blah 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 blah. Like I've seen all the clips of that shit, but.
It's so
I did not
funny.
know he did one with the dude from WrestleMania 30, which
yeah, I just saw it, and I don't know maybe if somebody like edited it, but it looked like they were sitting next to each other, and it looked like it was a thumbnail. So I'm not too sure, but it looked like it, and that would be crazy. The fact that that's also been 10 years, like it man. Oh, I got something for me and Alex got something for our 10-year reunion that's coming up this year, and I'm just not excited. I'm like, this is gross. It's crazy. Time flies. And the fact it's been also 10 years since WrestleMania is insane. We got 100. Oh, I thought we had 107. I was going to be we got 97. Actually, 97. Have you been having that with Twitter? Have you noticed a lot more people have been coming in from Twitter into your shows?
No.
I've noticed, like, for some reason, I've been having, like, over 50 plus people in every episode lately, and I don't know what it is. I'm not
You're
doing
going live on Twitter, though?
Yeah.
See, we're not. That's the problem. We're only live on YouTube and Twitch and Facebook.
We'll try.
Maybe I should start linking it to my Twitter.
Yeah, because, like, right now, from my Southside boys and my Tino's time, I have 78 people from the Tino's time, and I have 15 from the Southside boys.
All right.
So I don't know. Maybe try it. See if that does it. But yeah, I don't know. There's been a lot more people from like Twitter lately, and I don't know what it is, but I mean, whatever works to get views, right?
Yeah. Yeah, his podcast, 6 Feet Under.
6 feet under. Man, there's so many podcasts. What I like to do, and I think I always tell people this, I always try to sit there at night, like midnight. I have a really hard time sleeping. So I just go through everybody's podcasts and just watch like a few minutes of everybody's. Did
you just notice that Bret Hart came out, hit Sid Vicious with a steel chair, and they did not call for a DQ?
No, I did not even see that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, and that's the thing. Like they were what? Oh, there he is. They were talking about that too. Like how like there's some matches that like you remember that Hell in the Cell with Bray and Seth, how it ended in a no count out? How do you end a Hell in the Cell with no DQ and a no count out? Like that makes no sense. So it's like how do you even like let that happen? There's just no DQ. They just randomly, It's like alrighty then, whatever works. Choke slam.
That's probably Seth's worst match, unfortunately.
Oh, awful. I rewatched it too, and I was actually excited to rewatch it. And then I started watching. I'm like, this is that match. I'm like, this sucks. This is awful.
Yeah.
I did not know that was that match because I was like I said, I was just going through the old Hell in the Cell, and I was like, ooh, Bray versus Seth. And then I forgot that that's what happened. I'm like, this is lame. What did you notice, Cage? I don't know. Cage, I appreciate you being here all episode, bro. Cage, I think I'll have to get you on next sometime at some point since we're here every bit, you know.
Cage is an encyclopedia. So like for all of the info that you need about the builds to the shows and shit, absolutely.
Don't tell me that. Cage, what's up, bro? I'm gonna be messaging Cage, just be asking him all the info. Oh shoot, it's a tombstone pile driver. Boom.
You didn't even hear the 3 count.
Put the tongue out. It's a 1. It's a 2. It's a 3. And the Undertaker is what? 7-8-0 or no? 6-0, 7-0, something like that. Or I think he's because he ends up being 10-0 at 19, right? Or is that 18 against Flair? 19, right? So
I think it's 18 against Flair.
Is it 18?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Because 19 he faces A-Train and Big Show. That's right.
Yep.
So,
and then
number 8. So he's 5-0.
He's not at WrestleMania 2000. So
yeah.
He does 14. He does 15 against Kane. 16 he's not there. 17 he's back against Triple H.
That's right. That that's the other thing I did realize as I was watching this. I was like, wait, Undertaker's not on the show. But it's kind of crazy the fact that they, you know what I mean? Like they say it's consecutive. But that's just like another thing that like obviously it is consecutive, but if you know what I mean, like he could have a couple more wins if he competed at those. But obviously, you know, he didn't.
Yeah, no, so between 2000 and 2001 at some point, he went from the Ministry to American Badass Taker, and he took some time off in there.
Yeah, that's right. That because that's when he had the Buried Alive match, right? And then that's when he came back as the Dead Man with Kane at 20? Or is that before? Yeah. Yeah, okay, Cage. So, okay, maybe it's not just me. I guess I hope Twitter doesn't have like I hope it's not broken and I'm not just being told I have all these views. I really hope these people are really here. So, we'll have to see, though. But I don't know. Hey, as long as it helps all of us, whatever gets the job done. More people, the better. You never know who's watching. I always say you never know who's watching. Shoot, somebody could just pop in and they, you know. I mean,
and that's the whole point of doing these collabs, right? Is like you come on my show, they get to see you, they get to see what you do, and if they like what you do, then hopefully they come and they check out Tino Time if they never have before. Exactly. I come on here, I talk about orgies and cum shots, and they're like, "Oh, that guy's kind of funny," and they come check out what I do on my show, like.
And that's like the biggest thing on why, you know, like, because like I said, there was a few people that wanted to come on like 2 or 3, and I'm like, pick one, and then if something happens, then, you know, like I just had somebody cancel on me for 15. So like I'm gonna reach out to a few people, and if I can't find anybody, I just might reach out to a few other people I've already had on. But I want to try to give everybody an opportunity because it's like, you know, because again, like there's like Cage, like I've seen Cage in here before. There's other people that have been in here, but like never like, you know. And obviously it's because of you, but hey, whatever works, right? Maybe they'll come back. They hang out with me. They think I'm a little funny. You know, I try to be. There are times I'm a little boring, but like, you know, I do my best. I think I'm entertaining for 2-3 hours. And guys, that is how we end WrestleMania 13. So before we head to WrestleMania 14, and are you serious? My controller broke. My controller's not working. I can't get it off. It's going to start WrestleMania 14. Okay, there we go. So WrestleMania 13 is in the books, guys. Listen, every time it starts, and then I'm like, I don't want to watch it. I want to wait till Saturday. So, Matt, I want to say thank you, though, for waking up early, coming and hanging out here with me. You still got to go to work today, so pulling double duty, I do appreciate it, man. Spending all of the 3 hours here with me, and I'm happy we were able to figure it out. So, if you want to let everybody know where they can find you, what shows you got going on, what you got going on for WrestleMania, all that good stuff, this is your time to let everybody know where to go and find you and all the fun websites that you're on.
All right, so you guys can follow me on Twitter at MattRidder, MattRidder, for your wrestling content, at Getting Off for your horror content, and everywhere else on social media, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and Threads, at Smacking It Raw. That'll get you both the wrestling and the horror stuff. Creation World is the banner under which Smacking It Raw exists. You can follow everything Creation World, which is all that nerd-ish, video games, news, movies, all of that at It's Creation World on all social medias, ITSCREATIA World, as well as creationworld.com. And as he mentioned, we are the #1 wrestling, horror, and nerd news podcast on Pornhub. You can find that at
That's so great.
pornhub.com/model/creationworld. Link trees are in all of the socials. So if you just want to find our shit, audio, whatever, click that. youtube.com/creationworld, twitch.tv /creationworld. We are live for Smack and Raw every Saturday, 11 p.m. Central, midnight Eastern, and every other Sunday for Getting Off at 11 p.m. Central, midnight Eastern. We just did an episode on St. Patty's Day for the Leprechaun. And then we also just had Wednesday Night Wallop, the Wallop Boys, Wallop Media on Saturday for our latest episode. But we'll be back this Saturday. Me, Katie, and Vince talking the build to WrestleMania and what's going on in AEW. And Tino, dude, thank you for having me on. It was a blast. I had a really good time. Enjoyed this. Glad I got to get with a fellow Chicago boy to talk about WrestleMania in Chicago. So
hey, I appreciate it so much. And yeah, if you want to message me all your links or whatever, I'll put it all in the description, so that makes it easier. So then I don't have to unless you want me just to put your link tree. But yeah, if you want me to do that, so
yeah, just do Linktree /Smack and Raw. That'll get them everything they need to know.
Okay, yeah, I'll just do that then, so everybody can go and find you. But yeah, man, definitely it was fun. Definitely happy to find somebody that was from Chicago, and that was, because there's been a few times I've had people on there like, I don't remember this, and I'm like, well, so, and it definitely helps with me, like I said, since I don't really remember much of these, and I'm really trying to, get into them. So yeah, it definitely wasn't like the best of best WrestleManias ever, but I mean, definitely cool and definitely very interested to see about how all of these things. So perfect person to have on for this one. So definitely won't be the last time. I'll have to come back on your show, or we'll have to do something for Mania or something in Chicago. So Matt, thank you again for coming on. Guys, thank you to everybody that come in here and hang out. Right now, we got 99 people exactly in the house. So everybody that came over from Twitch, Twitter, X, YouTube, wherever you're all at, Cage, all of the people from Smacking It Raw, Creating World, thank you all for coming and hanging out this morning. I know it was a little earlier, so thank you guys all so much for coming and hanging out. I know you guys all love Tino's doubleheaders, but this is all we got here today. Your boy Tino's a little tired, but we will be back here tomorrow on Thursday. As it is time, we are, guys, 1 week away to the opening day for the MLB season, so come and hang out with Tino and Deech as we get you ready for opening day. We talk the MLB, Chicago White Sox, and everything else. As Dylan Cease has been traded, the White Sox are moving on, and it's a new direction on the south side of Chicago at Guaranteed Rate Field. So come and hang out for that. We got a bunch of episodes you can go check out today if you miss me. But, guys, go follow all the social medias. Go become a member. Leave a super chat or two. Remember, you leave a super chat, you go and get an entry extra into the raffle, so you automatically get an extra entry into the raffle, 2,000. You'll be getting a big prize. I can't wait to announce it. So go hit that subscribe button, go and do all that good stuff, guys. But also hit that like button on this episode, subscribe, as we are on the road to 1,902K. And lastly, turn that notification button on so you know when shorts, new episodes, and everything else comes out. Guys, have a great rest of your Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night, and I'll see y'all back here on Tino's Time tomorrow at 5 o'clock for the Southside Boys, as we are 1 week away to opening day.